Tama pala.
Kupal na morso niya yun, ah.
Bakit?
Pag pinatay, mana-down na, no? Tapos i-hostage. Pag na-hostage siya, pwede mo agad
Ay,
siya
ako.
patayin. Nakita mo yun? Boom!
Yung parang marirevive.
Oo, marirevive. Gusto makabalo ulit yung kalaban. Ang ina din. Hindi nagka-quit pa ako.
Ginagawa ng iba. Pagka-revive, papatayin ulit. Tapos revive
Ayun nga.
pa, patayin ulit.
Okay. Najik. Ay, sali, sa akin. Nalis.
Tari, sumali ka.
Sa'yo?
Oh. Parang ito, magsisimula pa lang to.
Ben, ano nung amuto?
Nakita ko yung tupal, galit na galit yung ano eh. Met me again, ganun.
Ay, sa pink at blue. Ay, yung showers na yun. Team blue, ay pink. Gusto mo tapos ano, yung pink na book, yung ano, yung puzzle boss. Mga naka-shade, di kasi naka-ano. May kuril mo. Napak, waiting for in-game. Nalaro ko ba?
Ah, oo.
Kaya pala. Nalaro mo matapos ng mga...
Hardpoint locked down. Hostiles have the hardpoint. Hardpoint is secure.
Sa puta, today. Punta ng float.
Hardpoint located.
Nalaro na ako.
We got the lead. Now hold. Hardpoint is active. Back off, I need eyes overhead. Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Hardpoint locked down. Hostiles have the hardpoint. Hardpoint is secure.
Pero ba't hindi na agad pag nakakapatay ako?
Nakagat ako rin.
Parang may natunog na ano, napatay mo.
Baka di mo napatay.
Hindi,
Hostiles have captured
kuha
the
ko yung ano.
hardpoint.
Hindi ko alam.
Hardpoint locked
Sa
down.
baril na to. Kung sa iba nag-ano, yung ring.
I don't know.
Hardpoint active. Hostiles have the hardpoint. Come on, you're losing this fight. Hardpoint is secure.
daw.
Hardpoint locked down. Hardpoint located. Hardpoint stacked. Hostiles have the hardpoint.
Sniper's dead. Come out now.
Hardpoint is secure.
Listening line was disrupted.
Sniper's gone. Push up.
Hostile shooter.
Hardpoint identified. Hardpoint active.
Path requesting UAV tasking.
Hostiles attached to hardpoint. Deploying RCXD. Hardpoint locked down. Firing hardpoint. Hostiles have the hardpoint.
Ikaw yata yung problema eh. Kaya ang pangit na ano kanina eh.
Hardpoint is
Putang ina.
secure.
Ayun. Huwag na pong
Dahil sa prestige mo. Pag nasin, kaya lang nakas ng kalaban.
Hostiles attached to
Hindi ko sa
hardpoint.
puguan. The fuck?
Hardpoint located. Hardpoint locked down. Hostiles have the hardpoint. Hardpoint set. Hardpoint is secure.
Bago bumalik.
Pangyayari. Nasali ako. Ha?
Kakasali ka? Oo nga no?
Hardpoint identified. Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Operating RCXD. Hardpoint active. Hardpoint locked down.
Tackle. Launch the UAV.
Hostiles have the hardpoint. Hardpoint is secure.
Tangin na. Sheesh.
Hardpoint located. Net call. Enemy watchdog kilo inbound. Hardpoint is active. Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Watch out. Enemy hellstorm launch. Hardpoint locked down.
Para panira yung mga mannequin nakabwisit eh.
Hardpoint is secure.
Oh, tangin ng paharara yung company. Bobo! Ano kalaban?
Hostiles have captured the hardpoint.
Enemies have disarmed the string mines.
Hardpoint active. Hostiles have the hardpoint. Hardpoint locked down.
Nasa taas.
Hostiles have captured the hardpoint.
Ano yung sabi lang?
TACOM, got a UAV in the air.
Hardpoint is secure. Hardpoint located. Hostiles have the hardpoint.
Ang ina mo, puking ina ka. Ang pakiwa.
Hardpoint is active.
Saan yun?
Hardpoint locked down.
TACOM, launch a UAV.
We have the edge, but don't get cocky. This shit ain't over. Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Enemy scout post detected. Hardpoint identified. Enemy UAV inbound. Hostile scout pulse in your AO. Hardpoint active. Hostiles have the hardpoint.
Mataas nito.
Hardpoint is secure. Get a UAV on grid. All mission objectives met. Way to make me proud.
Hostile planting string mine.
Basta magkulit ng
Clear. Sniper is down.
Right.
Nalagay white every code character like that.
Tapos 50,000. Tangin na siya. Kukumpara mo zombies, ang laki. Masura expect lang ng multiplayer. Diba nila kung may time sa XP? Pero mas nakakita lang natin. XP ng... nakatuktok may 24/7 ka pa rin? Nice.
Kanino? Wala, ikaw lang talaga yung malas kanina.
Ha?
Ikaw lang talaga yung malas kanina.
Ang inas yan. Malas, utang yung suwali, muntik na nga itang overtake sa score. The fuck, bobo ko lang.
Saka hindi naman ako napunta sa hardpoint eh. Patay lang
Ha?
ako patay eh. Kills ko lang ako ng kills.
Wala, walang stake out eh. Loko din kasi yung hard ang stake eh. Tinanggal yung stake out. Kaya gusto ko hardcore. Kaya lang mahirap. Gawa ako patay. Like ang patay.
Tangin na siya. Tinanggal pa kasi yung Facebook, saka yung ano.
May pisip pa na, Facebook. Hindi ko yung ibabreak nila yun. Ata, I don't know. Tapos I don't.
Hard point. Secure the objective. Hostiles have captured the hard point.
Ang inas eh. Kakapsyon ka lang kung tayo na. Papalikuhan ka ng bala. Visit!
Hindi ka na kasi kumakture.
Hard point locked down.
Wala ka na, pinapyakan ng kung nag-capture.
Hostiles have the hard point.
Okay na XP. Mananalo ko pati. Pag nananalo, makakita mo nananalo.
Hard point located. Hard point is secure. Hostiles have captured the hard point. Hard point set.
Nagwanan ako.
Hard point locked down.
Bado.
Ako, may ano dito, patapat mo.
Kape pa kasi. Kape pa.
Oo, pag nagkakapi ng gabi.
Ay, puta ano yun?
Bakit kaya? Dito sa ito.
Hard point is in. Hostiles
Ah,
have
di
the
na
hard
naman makapatay. Malat ki.
Ang inas yun. Easier naman.
Hostiles have captured the hard point.
Postog niya ako. Postog niya. Huwag kang ano. Huwag nang pagdahil.
Hard point is secure. Hostiles have the hard point. Enemy RTXD detected. Hard point locked down. Requesting recon above. Enemy CUAV inbound. Hostiles have captured the hard point. Hostiles have the hard point.
Utangin na nyo! Pak nyo kayo! Visit!
Hostile UAV established overhead. Hard point located. Hard point locked down. Hostiles have captured the hard point. Hard point set.
Dito sa bahay.
Hard point is secure. TACOM, authorize LCR strike.
Puntay kung ako sa mid-island. Tangin na. Taba kami yung tayo.
Pulling ahead.
Tama.
Kaya nakatapukan tayo. Damay ako eh.
Nasisi pa nga.
Putang ina. Napakan yung tayo.
Hard point identified.
Sisi pa nga sa batangahan niya.
Ano po?
Hard point active. Hostiles on the hard point. Hazard requesting watchdog helo on my grid.
Laban. Saka niya, nakahara. Play. Tayo sa objectives.
You've fallen
Shit.
behind. Hostile RCXD in your AO.
Tangina, ganda ng pusis. Ng pwesto na doon sa may tabi. Hindi nga makikita doon. Ang galing din. Kaya ay gusto sa'yo.
Hardpoint located. Hardpoint is active. Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Engage work. We've lost the advantage.
Gagawin ng stage.
Ayan, siya lang napunta. Sa ano? Sunod. Ayun. Patay dito eh. Kung pansin nyo, KDK. Kanya na yun.
Hardpoint identified.
Ako naman yung sarili kong di-recharge na po pa.
Hardpoint active. Hardpoint is secure.
Wala pa niya, inaanan lang ako.
Hostiles have the hardpoint.
Inaanan lang.
TACOM, I need eyes overhead. Hardpoint locked down.
TACOM, get a UAV in the air.
Putang ina, bigyan ka na yung
Hostiles
recharge.
captured the hardpoint. Hardpoint located. Hardpoint is active. Hardpoint is secure. Nice. We're pulling ahead.
Ang gago. Ano sa sarili ko nga?
Hostiles have the hardpoint. Hardpoint locked down.
Ano yan? Nag-out ako nito eh. First case ko ba patay mo?
Calculus available.
Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Hardpoint active. Hostiles have the hardpoint.
Yan. Okay. Very good.
Hardpoint is secure. Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Hardpoint locked down.
Uy,
Hostiles have the hardpoint. Get a UAV on grid. Get an LDVR on my mark. Hardpoint is secure.
may napuntahan eh. May punta. Meron ng ano, DVR.
Hardpoint is active. Hardpoint locked down. Hostiles have the hard point. Hard point located.
Tangina! Isip! Sumusunod. Ano ba eh?
Hard point locked down. Hard point active. Hostiles have captured the hard point. You've fallen behind.
Ano yun?
You
Ganun
gonna
ba?
let a bunch of company assholes beat you? Fight back, damn it! Hard point is secure. Hostiles have the hard point. Hard point locked down. Hostiles have captured the hard point.
Think real carefully about
Hard point identified. Hard point is active. Hard point is secure. Hostiles have the hard point.
Inalat lang ng bisik yun. Bawag yun eh. Gawin siya. Talo.
Hard point locked down.
Ah!
Hostiles captured the hard point.
Sabi. Katana? Katana na din.
Fucking me! Activate
Ako na
back
nag-contact.
protocols. Get your asses back to base.
Lang nagpa-follow eh.
Puro tumba.
Waypoint marked. Move.
Hirap. Ayos lang na ano, ako lang mag-objective. Especially may ako-cover nila ako dito. Ayun, problema, wala na ako cover. Wala na pasok, namatay ako. Ikapalit ako. Yan ko. Yan pa rin ko. Ikapalit ako ngayon. Pagkapikit. Kaya kung tumutok, bago ako eh. Habang mamatay pag tumutok ako eh.
Ano bang gamit mo?
Model lang. Kasi mo muna. Naka-model L lang. Wait lang, ayusin ko lang. Naka-ano to eh. Si ano? Build ng Morso. Hindi ko napalitan. Kaplakit talagi ako sa map eh.
Baka na rin yung sa akin, kupal. Saka nang may nakalagay na laser kahit wala akong nilalagay.
Pare na, pare. Nasa, G. Pwede ko na ng magazine. Ginawa ko lang 45. Tingin ko sa pressure. Nakikita yung position ko pag na-barrel ako. Di mapag-camp life.
Wait.
Hindi naman. Hindi naman. Ah, yan. Parang
Laker lead is 3. Precarious 3-point lead. The shot is out of the outstretched arms of Reeves, who nearly knocked it out of bounds.
Oo
And
nga
with
eh.
that,
Kaya pala
it's
siya
tied
top
at
address
87.
sa
Yeah,
sa
but that
directed
was
mode.
a guy stand.
Walang cap yung XP, walang cap yung XP ng ano, directed mode.
Nang,
Walang cap kasi ang zombies kasi nagka-cap ang XP mo pag nag-round 30 pataas na, round 31 pataas. Kaya pag nag-round 36, mga 36 pag doon ka natapos, huwag ka mag-expect na malaking XP. 31 yun yung talagang pinaka talagang ideal talagang XP. Kasi doon yung magandang XP.
pwede
Sa
mo,
directed
directed
mode
lang.
kasi, pwede naman, directed mode kasi, 115 lang yun, walang cap. Pero, hindi, tsagaan lang dun. So, ma-level. Pwede naman, ayos na sa akin. Kaya
Wala.
ako,
Next basket wins game. Next basket wins game.
maganda dun, kung directed mode tayo,
Under a minute.
try mo, gamitin mo yung mga ibang baril, huwag ka mag-overadjust.
LeBron. The dribble on top. AD nearly falling down. Regains his balance.
Tumuha sa multiplayer, awit.
He's got it again.
Di ba kasabay? Gago na nag-like ang multiplayer na ko. Nabublock tayo. Nahina tayo pa rin. Nabublock to this.
The
Okay.
last couple of hoops, it's been him. As I said, he's hit big shots throughout his career. And he does it again. The previous one knocks it down, puts the Lakers up by 1. And then this one puts the Lakers up by 4. He knows the clock, bears up, does what he does. LeBron James now with 20 points, 7 boards, 5 assists.
Ano ba?
Ano?
Isang game pa tayo multiplayer. Tapos try natin yung kung totoo yung sinasabi mo.
Hindi, matagal yun. Kasi siya naggago. Gago mo mag-directed mode tayo, gawin natin ngayon.
Kasi bagay. Oo nga.
So, ganda, ano yun, mas matagal eh.
Ang kalokohan hindi pwedeng antik yung squad sa ano habang naka-ready up.
Eh?
May ready up na skin.
Skin. Ready up. Oh,
Yung pag squad pin.
bakit?
Wala ka, pang asam. Pag na-miss mo, Magugulat ka na lang. May mga
Oo.
kasali.
Oo, naging ganun yun.
Dahil agad natin ang level 15.
Security chief to
Round
no
15
rivals.
pala.
Could have
Pare,
used you sooner,
agad yan.
but welcome just the same. I'm in the mansion,
Pwede naman.
command center. Injured,
Pero
but
ano eh.
intact. Most everyone else is.
Ayun, puro na ako.
You've got eyes. Look, we need to get this situation under control ASAP. Be ready for anything.
Ikaw yung marin. SMG.
Simple.
Gagong magkapupad ka dito?
Alpha, search the area. We've got 3 Janus Science personnel missing.
Hindi naman. Ito lang ginamit ko.
Knowledge is
Mga
critical
daming balat eh.
success. So we
Malebe
need
lang?
our own.
Both.
Jumped right into that one.
Gusto mo na to?
Diba?
Ay, goblin pala yung parang natutunaw, no?
Keep pushing.
Pag
We
in-split.
need to find out what caused all this. Even if it turns out it was us.
Ay, yung may inspection?
Oo, yung pag in-inspect mo yung baril, parang
Ah,
natutunaw yung ano niya.
pwede naman mag-Mr. Box ka. Makukuha mo yun. Lagi ka pakita sa Mr. Box.
Ako, nakangalayos kami.
Ewan.
Pinakahuli kong kukunin yun.
Hindi rin naman. Yung penetration kasi yun, yan nasa iyo kung medyo fit ka. Kasi naman medyo lagi tatagos din yung mga balat. Round 15 naman. Kung gusto mo ano, pang there, round 11 lang.
15 yata, parang dalawa eh.
Hindi, wala
Dalawa
sa
ng
round 15. Walang sa round 15.
Hindi, ano yun, mas maganda, mas malaki yung space.
Ayaw ko. Nahati ko din. Ayaw.
Kulang pa.
Handy. That should fit any standard pressure control valve.
Baka mo na yung valve.
Ah.
Now that's the summer.
Ano? Parang ba ako ganyan sa shit dito? Hati ako na rin. Para mag-round 11. Ano, diba? Sabihin sila to?
Oo.
Signal is breaking.
Yung coordinate ka, ikaw? Oo.
Yes? A so-called rapid response team.
Ikaw.
Yeah.
Rapid enough. But I knew you would come.
Way to swat that bug, Alpha.
Bago! Hindi sa akin!
Tignan mo.
Teka!
Napatay na ka, no? Napatay
Hindi!
ng Bermin.
Gago! Kaya naman na yung akin! Hindi! Puno ang buhay ko! Pare ba yun? Puno ang buhay ko! Kaya namatay! Gago! Matay ka na!
Hoy!
Nagtataka ako! Ba't tumatay? Nagulat ako may sumbing ano, may sumbing nakakatir sa mga sa ano, sa may... Kaya namatay! Puno ang buhay ko nun!
Pero pagkatingin ko pa, saan biglang namatay?
Oo nga, namatay nga! Gulat ako! May zombie kasi, merong hindi ko alam.
Right in the CPU.
Ano yung motel? Ang mahal sa may sa parting na dito. Mening win yung tapal, medyo mahirap yun.
Oo.
That must have been Dennis Griffin. Church grounds.
Buksan mo na rin pala yun. Buksan natin yung dagat na.
Around the end, though. Wonder what the key's for.
Hatiin mo na, para...
All right, Griffin. Let's see what you've been keeping locked up in here.
Sige, sige.
A handbrake. The hell did Griffin plan to do with that?
Hindi. Hatiin na. Good.
Is that a design for a weapon? Looks like you already found some of the parts. Miniature jet engine. One of ours. How the hell did you get hold of that?
Ang ganda bagay yung XM Boost sa labeling. Yung bago mo yun, may Baxter Lasket.
I am
Oo.
fine.
Ganda thing. Shish!
Double points.
Napag-cook ko na ba? Hindi pa.
Di ba? Ngayon pa lang.
Pwede naman. Kahit ang 11 muna tayo. Para makapagtapos mo yung open.
Could use one of these back at base.
Tayo.
30 yun, ang dami nun.
Pag 11, go ko. Ayaw nga nung 30. Kaya,
Sobrang tagal yun.
I do things the hard way.
Pansin ko yung mga baril dito sa zombie mode. Wala masyadong recoil.
walang ring kaya. Tapos yun. Kita pag sa multiplayer, ang taas.
Oo, magugulat ka bigla.
Hold it together just a little longer. If this works, I will keep my promise to you.
Shit, should have got that earlier.
Ako mission.
Back to the grave.
Oh, hindi nalabas ang mission dito.
Joke lang ako. Pero ako gagawin. Hashtag dito ko ako.
Kaya antay ako ng antay lupa ako. Ulit-ulit pa. Walang mission.
Favorite mo yung skin yun ah.
Alin.
Yan, igamit mo sa operator sa zombies.
Ha? Hindi ko pa na-unlock yung iba eh.
Ayun. Di mo ba yan yung yung gamit ko? Yung umuwi mo ako? Kung iba ibig ka mo? Ako din.
Kanan lang yun. Pinagpapalit-palit ko. Yun yung ginamit ko kahapon.
Oo, dali mo ako patay dito. Tangin na siya.
Kailangan na ito, baka biglang baguhin nila to.
Oo, at kaya napitin mo. Pagkat ka pa dito yung bigay ng ano. Success ang barrel pa, tas matagal eh. Mas matagal yung laro yun yung laro. May mas mataas yung degree sa battle pass.
Tear them to pieces.
Checkmate, asshole. Frag set.
Max ammo.
Buksan mo natin ito.
Ayaw talaga mabasag ng kukal na yun eh.
Ha?
Yung nasa taas ng church.
Hindi na tayo. Hindi pa yung direct dito. Mangga dito.
Pwede pumunta lang.
Clear.
Where were you when I was writing my dissertation? That shit was just too loud. I'm so done with target discrimination.
Kuha na.
Didn't you find a crank wheel by the flower shop?
Max armor.
That's gonna attract some attention. Keep the hostiles clear. We need to build pressure behind that valve.
Gagawin ako. Ramon ko lang.
Down you go, creepy.
Yan. Balik.
Help! Help!
May magdalit.
Decoys left.
One more item
Kunyari.
from the shopping list. This better be worth
Gusto. Oo
Ah,
na.
pinihit mo ba?
Oo agad.
Yeah, pal.
Tapos... Mangler. Ay, yung mangler! Wait, patay yung mangler tayo. Ano mo yung mangler ka nun? Ay, tayo, ako nga mapatay. Hindi ko yung alin eh. Yung kanon! Yung kanon! Tarahin mo! Isa. Patay mo na. Nakuha ko yung kanon.
Ay, yun oh. Pwede mo basagin yung kanin lang.
Oo, napasag yun. Yung bali.
Get low.
Napasag yun. Tagin mo lang yung kanon niya. Kaya taas kayo yung season 1, pero dati yung nangyayari yun.
Gates down. Nice work. Let's have a look inside. Jack, that's the wiring for the jet gun. I think that's everything we need for the jet gun. Let's head back to the motel and slap this thing together.
Double coin.
That was some serious shit.
Rustadyne Model 23, huh? Definitely not Janus sanctioned. But that doesn't matter now, does it? Let's see what this thing can do. That's Dr. Moline. Joined the physics team last year. Nice enough guy, but weird.
That's one. Need two more. Get to it.
Basta ano, pag nakuha natin yung
Thanos, don't
LKJ,
forget who's in command
kahit
here.
kung natin gawin yun, ano yun, pinag-ingat yun yung karapit
I
yun eh.
heard that one.
Kung natin gawin yung,
Oh no. Dr. Billy Tier.
Ayun,
My
pag-spawn.
favorite egghead.
ha?
Not just
Hindi, alam mo,
for
may
street
ano pa naman yun eh. Parang i-check mo
Got
pa
any
naman
theories about
kung
what caused this disaster?
sisimulan mo na yung final battle o hindi pa.
Unfortunately not. I'm just the guy
Hindi,
who tried
isang
to
hindi,
find
ayos ko
the
siya. Baka makakulit din yung mapindot eh.
You have all three. Find a good place to assemble the LPG device.
Alpha, you have execute authority.
O pala, pwede ka nang huli ng mga dito kahit
I'm
alien.
worried about the director. I saw him when
May
this started
vending
and
machine
his
na dito.
comms went dark.
Pwede mga pinatid siya, mga headshot.
If I'm
Data.
anything, it's that just because you're missing doesn't mean you're dead.
Oo,
Kailangan,
ano?
Isn't that so?
kaya maganda nga. Ay, okay na. Ay, ito. Ay, gating gawin. Salpo ko lang.
Look, Thanos, I'd like to understand how the LPG device
Hindi po
operates.
na sagot. Ayun.
Well, it lays
Tapos ano, yaw.
it makes
Yaw.
it start to move.
Ikot dito na. Pwede pa yung sumbis ka pero.
Solid placement. The gateway portal should fully open in about a minute. But seriously, the LTG summons high-value targets so we can steal their life energy.
Ay, gawin
My
mo ito.
colleagues managed to fill one
Ay,
ether
tinutunta.
canister before they ran out of luck. You'll need to fill two more. Hey, keep them off the device. The gateway is delicate while it's forming.
Yung mga ganito, pamilya,
Team is taking a beating. Get on it, team.
pwede mo na ako, pamilya ito. Kaya, ano, kaya mo pa yung namumili ito. Magkaan na mangger dito. Sakto! Ito pa lang, mangger! Part na to. Basta wag galing ano, hayaring ma-filter ma-paint. Kailangan mo lang ito. Magkakamang trade yun eh. Basta hayaan natin ano, mamatay. Oh,
Hindi matagal lang.
Hindi, medyo madami na win. Basta rin yan. Kumpara mo sa isa sa round 1. Parang yung level 2. Ay, activate mo lang yan. Activate mo. Diyan ka na lang. Maganda. Kaya mo, kahit di mo i-depend, kunti lang yung puso, kunti lang yung i-depend. Sabi mo gusto mag-dar. Yung mag-dar dito, yung mag-dar. Hindi pa lang. Ano pa rin? Ayaw.
Keep the device safe while
Walang
it
mangler.
opens the gateway.
Hindi mo. Pero di yung parting yan. Ayun o. Parting yun. Parting mo. Yan mo kayo lang. May inyong pangit pala. Pag na. Kaya mo na mga ganun. Kaya mo ng mga billion. Kaya mo na yan. Parang tayo ng software. Ayun o. May mga roll dito. May mga roll. Mag-13. Ito ang roll 4. Ayun ba? Ayun roll.
Gagaan mo nga rin.
Teka, ano?
Diba?
Dahil nila matay ng part. Teka. Dami. Hindi na. Shit, hindi makapasok ah. Ayun sumbi.
No good to be all tired out. Almost dying sucks. Oh, but that smell is worse.
Shit, wala ng balag. Buwisit.
Ikaw, bigyan mo 50 yun. Kung ano ka na dyan. Ay, mali na pala.
This ain't NATO
Uy, gago. Ay,
regulation.
so, nakakuha ng Ultron. Yes. Ay, mali ang bobo. Ilang ginagawa ko. Magdali, mag-lang. Kapag yung pink, yung point. Ha? Sinagan yung point. Ha? Wala. Tangan na yung ano ko. Gambol na ko. Hindi gumana. Kung ginagay gambol ko, dahil. Ay, gawa ka na.
Nice. Juggernog. Kung kailangan bumili.
Hanggang dito, di mo mapatay. Patay ko to.
Ay,
Max ammo.
saan ba yun?
May yun. Ito, bili ng vending machine.
This is starting to get fun.
Ito ko na 15. Saan eh? Ganyan na lang yan.
Overkill. Maybe?
Double.
Another one splattered.
Max armor.
Marami sabi, marami something. Ay, o tama lang.
Sakto lang.
Sakto lang.
Kinuha mo lahat.
Luwa ko lang, gago. Ano kinuha?
Wala masyado eh.
Kaya masyado ba? Siguro ba? Ang nasisi. Baka maganda solo ng ata to, hindi maganda to ang ano, hindi ka solo prospect. I don't know. Let's see. Ano ba? Utang isin. Dito sa ano? Wow. Ay, hindi ako sa tawag sa kanya. Pagkatawag sa mga ganyan. Sumubos ko. Bakit may sumunod? Ito lang. Medyo boring.
Marking target location.
Then,
Yun lang.
di siya boring kung merong challenge na ginagawa. Ako, medyo may siya gusto ginagawa kahit paano.
Parang ba ito lang lalabas ng mga vlog?
Wala kang ganda ko din, no?
Wala bang manglar ng 15?
Wala! Mag-15, special zombie sa labas. Bumagin siya.
Ba't walang abomination?
Hindi natin pinapalabas eh. Kung iniisip ko niya kasi yung mangler na post dito, hindi siya special.
Ah,
Kaya mga korte-korte, ano? Pagkita kaya na hindi ko pinili sa post.
may full power ulit ako dito.
Maganda dito yung XP sa battery pass, ang XP sa mataas. Walang pakit.
Bagay. Oo, kung medyo tumagal tayo dito, dire-dire ang laki ng ano nito.
Wala lang talaga, kahit sa battery pass.
Walang AFP ano dito, sarta ng AFP dito.
Ay, hindi may AP dito. Yung gagalaw, maano ko, makikita.
Checkmate, asshole!
Meron niyang ano, nag-round na yung round 9999. Nasa 100 na siya. Nag-stream. Nakik siya. Buti siya makik pala, butik na makik. Kahit nagalaw siya. Kasi nasa isang gusto lang siya eh.
Ay, hindi naalik.
O dyan, kasi kung meron lang. Ito, yung ginagawa ko, meron lang dito. Kasi isang pwesto. Maganda kasi yun. Parang patras ko.
Ano eh?
Back to the
May
grave!
ginala mo.
Bakit? Tagal. Tagal mo ito na, magpagod na puno. Kasi yung matagal na pag-power na yung patras niya na papuno eh. Yung real din.
Tagal na. Kaya pag ganun, ginagamit ko agad-agad.
Kung maganda na dito, makapag-grind ka ng mga gampul. Ay, gano'n akong grind na dito. Sobrang dami nakuha kong ano, perkaholic, wonder bar.
Mga gamble.
Mahal yung gampul ito. Tinakuha yung mga perkaholic at wonder bar. Wonder wave po. Perkaholic ko maganda. Nakakano yung perkaholic. Kasang perkaholic ko maganda. Kasi mga 1 minute complete. Ako lang ang buwan. Unlimited siya content. Di mo to,
Limited jump ball.
Level 71 agad ako. Sheesh!
Down you go, creepy.
Part of me wants to stay. Bonus points. Trippy here. Okay.
Dagdag lang. Bigat ulit.
Some.
Ang bagal ni. Ang bagal eh. Nakastamina up na ako. Nakapalo na ito sa pit. Ano po?
Hindi ka mag-dive.
Insta-kill.
Yes, that makes things a little easier.
Pwede ka mag-pop 3 dito.
Hindi nga. Type up to lang.
Malulugi ka lang pag nag-pop 3 ka.
Oo, malulugi ka. Wala nang hirap ka saan.
5,000 lang 5,000 na yun.
Di ba, ipit pa ako dito.
Mike,
Bawal.
We're into that one.
Max armor.
Ano? Ha? Bila naman eh.
dami yun.
Meron ba? 2 charge ba yun?
Wala. Ang bilis lang talaga mag-ano. Hindi ko alam kung bago anong meron.
Wag yan.
Sobrang bilis.
Kalukuhan masyadong bilis. Ang naglaro mo sa umpisa niya nangyari. What happened? Season 1. Mas stable pa yung ano yung bago mag season 1.
Yung ano, yung unang release.
Oo. Mas maganda pang ano. Walang problema. Hindi ko dito nagdagdo na yung iba. Ewan yung
You say collateral damage? I say crowd control.
Bonus. Max ammo.
Dinigin pa yung energy mine ko eh. Sobrang tagal mag-charge.
Kilala pa energy man.
Gusto ko ng example nila. Ang dami.
I heard that one.
Ang daming ano pa ba?
Oo. Ano kasi? Popcorn lang ito. Ito ang training sa hito. Sa mga road ko. Kaya mo.
That was painful just watching it.
Pangit sa akin. Maksyawas. Makseta.
Sa.
Ayan. Nakakarapit din na kasi ako. Medyo malabo ng problem na yun. Medyo mahirap na yun. Kaya ko pero natawag mo.
Medyo.
Medyo mahirap. Medyo, hindi sobrang hirap medyo sa akin. Tagal kasi, kaya ako ulit. Abutin niya mga ano, handa na yung mabutin ka ng kalating araw.
Kakaumay. Kakaumay.
Yan eh, kaya ako team minuto. Hindi na mapasok yun.
Kahit na iba yung bagong simula ka sa ano.
Kaya nakakita ko doon, karamihan computer ay zombies. Zombie rin madami. Si zombies.
I'm so done with target
Ay kaya yung tapak, nagpupunyaw.
Hindi, nakaspell lang ako dito.
Nakuha ko naman. Nakastip ko kasi yung moment.
Oh,
Mahina. Nandito lang ako. Kaya nun.
may nag-follow na ulit. 4 na.
Ayan.
Tagal lumabas ha.
Alam mo kasi yung propan namin.
Ha?
Propan.
Oo. Ang ganda daw yun.
Maganda o, maganda kasi may tinatago kayo. Ano, something. Naglaro ko dati sa mobile, sa PCP pa.
Ano ba nga yun?
Kaya, magtatago ka lang, magalingan ng taguan.
Hindi, anong... Sa COD ba yun? O ano?
Yun. Pag sabi sa mga Black Ops, sa Modern Warfare, wala. At ako meron din dati sa Modern Warfare eh. At ako ito, hindi nga binalik sa yung W. Kasi Black Ops meron talaga. Ay, oo, meron talaga sa Black Ops. Nalaro ko na pala yung ano, Propad sa Cold War.
Luma ata.
Ha?
Sa lumang code.
Cold War dati. Yung ano pa yung nag-force pa nilaro natin. Kasi napabili ako ng Cold War kasi gusto ko i-grind yung ano, Jack Matrix maglaro so.
Kaya pala eh.
Ulit naman, tanong na kasi ako nakuha ko yung Jack Matrix. Kaya nasagdag niya yung mga sinaro. Ganun na grind. Kung iba nga, mas madali nga dun dati para na yung so enchant kills, 1,000 lang. Kasi ang population kills, 3 lang ata kailangan ng makamatay sa pinaka-ulit.
Dali lang yun na.
Dali nga. Pero ano, marami apat yung special niya. Ito pa yung dalawa.
Ayos lang yun.
Okay, one set na ano. Ganda mo na yan. Pati, medyo naging box yung button box. Pero wala pang bili ng button box. Box lang yung level ng break. Caldera yung caldera ata yung caldera
Caldera.
sa Warzone. Yung bangay no, mas yung bangay.
Kaya ako tanaw.
Ang yun, nagpunitera ako ng pagpunitera. Shish! Kasi parang nangyayari. Ganyan yung kill. Kasi knockout, ganyan yung pinamaraw sa pag-markado. Yung laro.
Yung mga batak na batak.
Kung may bowling dito, alaw dyan ng ano, Easter egg. Nakuha mo na ba yung bowling, ano? Yung Easter egg na bowling?
Oo.
Hindi sa Dark Ops? Dark Ops na calling card. Nakuha mo na?
Ay,
Hindi pa. Kasi hindi na nakakumunti yung score. Saka 300 score pa yun, makakuha ng calling card. Dark Ops yun eh. Kasi pa yun. Wait, kung ganun. Yung susunod. Hindi mo sasanday, sinagatan niya na sa break. Bakit na ako nakaligtas tayo?
sa ano yun? Pen ng ano yun? Sa
Liberty.
quad lang.
Ha?
Quad lang. Pwede.
Wala.
Quad.
Wag. Wag. Kahit sila. Oo, pwede yung pwede nga dun. Kasi ate, ikakumpit siya kayo. Hindi ko lang kung solo.
Diba? Kakagamit ko lang puno ulit.
Wag nga yan. Wag na na. Kaya na, yung Reagan. Maubos yun. Ako pa, meron din itong ano, Easter egg na disco. Nagkasayo yung mga zombie.
Ilang ano na.
Ha?
Ay, baba pa. Feeling ko baba pa.
Mama Ben, kailangan ko na ng mission. Pag ilan mo, Jax, nakailang edition ako kung ano. Kapag laro.
Overkill. Maybe?
Kaya ganito ka ba?
Kung downhill, ganun to. Ang inabot na edition ko, 10,000.
This comes the hard way.
Ilan yung XP na kuha ko.
100k.
Hindi. Kulang pa yan. 400. Dito mo next to save. Mark 200.
Brain scrambler.
Double points.
Kulang ako na pa siya eh. Wala natin. Kung maganda gawin to, solo. Maganda ka mag-solo ka nila. Kung gusto mo mag-ride ng ano.
Napapatch.
Yun nga eh, kaya nakapilin mo na nga ngayon eh. Alam mo, mamaya mo natulog, bukas mo natulog ng bagay.
Che.
Buhay G-Way, tangin niya. Kaya sa iyo magod eh.
I do actually think that we're having a...
Jumped right into that one.
But I think it's happening. The reason why, like I think politics in a really game, the rest of it is that games are so boring. People just don't care about politics. Like, what? Yeah, it's been happening. But you're one of the greatest of all right now. Because
Ganito ko no, full power.
why would they do this?
Sige ko.
Seen this in timelines.
Sabay lang.
Ancient age, modern, contemporary age, and Dragon Age, the Veilguard. You are. Wait, this says, let's read this. Contemporary age, the French Revolution. And the French Revolution ended in 2023. Who the fuck made this? What? What are we talking about? Oh my god! Here. That's a lot. Clearly the greatest or best game. I know they're joking around a little bit, but so many people have seriously been trying to prop it. As you might expect, the comment not really agree with that.
Count like dominoes.
Gamers have been using the bike from imagine that. Consumer action all along. That's all. You can make the
Wala.
decision and you can
Ay, naman region ko. Parang nag-sell na ko. Bukaan, Facebook pa. Pumunta ko nila. Gagi! Siya may arkanang ano.
1,500 games
Nalimutan.
on Woke Detector. An online group has firmly brought the culture war of woke and
Pagkatapos
anti-woke
ng battle
into
pass
video
ko dito.
games.
Ng battle
It's
pass
been
dito.
in video games for a long
Ah,
time. It's
tabunan
not
mo na to.
anything
May
new.
magal pa man
More
natin
than
ako ni
1,500
correct.
titles have been
Natapos na
rated
mga tapos.
on an absurdly wild quote-unquote woke detector Excel
December
spreadsheet.
15.
And that's not the worst part. More than half of them listed are not recommended because they contain details and features that are considered woke. What did you expect from something titled Woke Detector?
I went into this fucking restaurant. It was called Longhorn Steakhouse. They had a bunch of fucking steaks there. I can't believe it. I'm a fucking vegan. What is this? This is disgusting.
How about love how he said that's not even the worst part though. Like you can clearly tell that he's upset by this spreadsheet. And then post an example of transgender character Roman Ryan from Hogwarts Legacy. But this seems like the worst example we could use. Hogwarts Legacy. It was like the activist types.
Ay, maganda pa lang melee dito.
Like the armchair activist types who were really upset by this game, saying
Melee.
to like boycott it.
Yeah,
they're
they-
making a list of streamers who framed it. Tons of people like peeking me down. Like
that was so stupid.
this example
Hampas ka
hurts
lang
your
ng
argument.
hampas.
Look, I'll even say that I.
Well, here's the problem with like the woke lists.
Daily
The
requesting
reason
Gagi.
why they're problematic is because there's not like they're a binary system. Like for example, like they'll categorize a game like Elden Ring or Baldur's Gate 3 as woke because Elden Ring doesn't use male and female. They use body type 1 and 2. Or they categorize Baldur's Gate as woke because you can have like gay relationships. And I think that it's a huge problem with like that group of people that are like trying to fixate on figuring out which games are and are not woke because they don't know how to categorize them as a tier list. Like you might think that Baldur's Gate 3 is woke, that's fine, but everybody knows it's not as woke as like, I don't know, Dragon Age, right? So that's it's that there's not like a tier list or a power ranking.
Why do things the hard way?
Seen some games that get not recommended on these types of lists that do seem like whoever put them on
Wala
some
ba?
list is taking
Wala.
seriously.
Fight na natin na continue play yung
The not recommended posts are very reasonable. Like simply not wanting to buy the very shoehorned in fake UI slop stuff. Of course people don't want to buy games that come off fake and 3G. Wouldn't want to get lectured by a bunch of lame corpos. I also find it hilarious when armor activist types get automatic gamers when they refuse to buy products.
See, and the reason why is that, like, if we think about so let's go ahead and let's do something kind of funny. Biggest games of the year. Wukong. Chinese dev.
Ay, pwede ka pala mag-auto-clicker dito eh.
Metaphor.
problema, hindi gagawag bubuto clicker.
Japan dev. Final Fantasy 7.
Pindot ka lang ng hampas ka lang ng hampas. Tapos sa gilid ka lang.
Meron nagwa ng gunpoint eh. Yung napunta sa shed, makasama siya ng hampas.
Stellar Blade.
Hindi ko na-patch na tayo.
Korean dev.
Hindi na ginagawa ng iba.
I'm starting to see
Nasa loob ng shed.
Power. Japan dev. Elden Ring. Japan dev.
We call that flipping an asset.
Dragon's Dogma. Japan dev. Conquer. American. Okay, Monster Hunter.
Huh?
I heard that one.
Helldivers 2. Fair. Finnish? Where were they from again? I don't remember. Swedish? European dev. Euro dev. I think that's fair. Yeah, Sweden? Okay. Space Marine 2? Fair. Where was Saber Interactive? I think they're American, right? Oh, they're Russian. Oh. Oh. Did we make any good games this year? No, not that's what I'm saying. Did we make a single good game? Saber is in Florida. They just have a Russian studio. Okay. All right. Maybe Saber's in Okay. US stuff. Okay, we've got one. We're safe. Everything's fine. But let's look at this. Western game dev has a huge problem. Tremendous problem.
Like they're mad that gamers are actually better activists than they are. At the time of writing, 403 titles in the document are recommended, 323 are informational, and a staggering 824 are staggering 824 games are rated not recommended, with some hugely
Hindi mo
successful
daw.
titles in there. There were
Magandang
corners of the
drop
internet
ng
that
amos
were
yung
up
mga
in
numbers
arms
of
because a transgender character in
Ayun,
Serona
eh.
Ryan was included in Hogwarts Legacy when it
Mga
was
numbers
released
of
in
this,
February
magandang mag-drop
2023.
ng amo.
Once again,
Yeah, because there's a lot of people. So this is what these people don't understand.
Saan?
So when
Uy,
you
ano yun,
say
nanalo
there are
akong
corners of the
Getso.
internet, do you want to know what corners of the internet
Huh?
are? They're called corners of the
May
globe.
na-unlock ako.
So you have an international platform where people from all
Ah,
across the world,
sabi mo yun,
across multiple cultures, religions, races, and also nationalities are discussing
Ayo.
topics. And in some of those corners, being transgender is against the law, or it's not viewed in a positive light. So, big surprise, some people on the internet don't agree with things that are literally against the law in their country. I'm sick of these people going and acting like this is some kind of a problem here, when we're talking about this is a global internet. This is a global platform. Of course you're going to have people that disagree.
Just watching it.
Yeah, meanwhile, in the secret HQ of modern evidence, yes, the internet's worldwide, exactly.
Here.
It's because you have a toxic positivity game community? Well, I don't know.
Okay, browse ako.
Woke, that one trans
Simple.
character in the
What
game.
the fuck are you
I don't think it was
doing?
woke either. I'm just
Nag-browse,
telling you, like,
depend yung road.
it shouldn't be a
Nalapakin kita,
surprise
ganun
that
po,
there are
yan.
people out there that are not fans of
May
transgenders
Facebook ako eh,
because
Apple.
the internet is
Bigla sinampigi.
worldwide, and people on the internet come from cultures and from nationalities where it is literally illegal to be transgender. I feel like this is such a cold take.
and this is a terrible example. Like, I can't believe this guy's actually writing this. Does he actually think this, or is he trying to, like, rewrite history here? Because, if I recall, it was the Boycott Hogwarts Legacy people that were all upset with Serona
Bili ka ng
Ryan.
ano.
They were saying the name Serona was transphobic because, like, the Sir. They were like, of course Hogwarts Legacy's trans character would be named Serona Ryan. This is a transphobic dog whistle. And it was actually a lot of the Hogwarts Legacy people defending that trans character by citing this Serona. He didn't say, unsurprisingly, the cover
I'm so done with target discrimination.
real woke content section curated list of games that will not recommend Hogwarts Legacy. So as I mentioned earlier, I do think sometimes the people making those lists, or at least posting, like partaking in the list, are too extreme. This being one of those spam lists. I like
Wait na.
Ginagawa mo.
Contains 18 and LGBTQ characters, uses body type instead of biological sex. I feel like that's fair. I mean, like, there's no logical reason other than a woke reason to use body type instead of biological
Kagamit ko lang.
sex. I can't think of a single logical reason why that would be true. Does it make any sense?
like Hogwarts Legacy, I think it's a cool game. So, in my opinion, it's really not. Oh, there's one more thing. I did check the list to be sure he wasn't making this up, and yeah,
It's
that
true.
is on there.
Yeah.
This is sadly
He's right.
just one example of hundreds and hundreds, with each one having a similar format. None of the recent Call of Duty titles are recommended because of emblems containing pride flags. Forza Horizon 5 isn't either because the pronouns they them can be chosen. And Bully's Scholarship Edition must have caused repulsion among those who made this wretched list. Because players can't.
Well, yeah, big surprise. Like, a lot of people don't accept that there are more than two genders. Like, this is another component that these people don't seem to understand, is that I would say, like, the massive, overwhelming majority of the world that's on the internet thinks there's two genders. Whether you agree with them or not is irrelevant. You have to acknowledge that this is a minority opinion. What are we talking about? Why? It's unbelievable. 90% easy? I don't know if it's 90%. I have no idea. But it's such a huge amount of people. And so, isn't it transphobic? I don't know. Genders and sex are different. How many people do you think give a fuck about that distinction?
Another one's flattered.
Really? Like, I mean, really, ask yourself the question, how many people actually give a fuck? And I'm not talking about this here in America. I'm talking about across the entire
That makes things a little easier.
world. That's not gonna work. Oh, yeah, it's such a small, minor amount of people. Is that we will make the poll here? I really need to make a poll here. What I'm saying is that I find it to be very annoying that people write these articles complaining about how, you know, people on the internet are not inclusive, but we have a global internet. If we had an internet that for some way, in some way, only allowed people to post from, like, America, then you probably wouldn't see this stuff be as popular. The reason why this stuff is getting really popular, the guy that made the original DEI detected list is from South America.
Nakapag-social media ka na, pag
Yeah,
ano,
the chief for chasing other boys with the lead male character. Video games are for absolutely everyone. And in the title, let's see, do not have any influence when it comes to so-called recommended
Kill na
games. On if
zombie.
they have content deemed woke. Video games are absolutely for everyone. And the entitled
Problema lang,
entitled select few should not hold any influence when it comes to
bobo naman, wala. Gold ko kasi sa akin.
why not?
Yung bagan lang ng mga basketball at mga
Ironic? It is really ironic, isn't
Sino
it?
sa club dun eh.
Yeah, that's
Prestige Master, binububog ng Prestige 1.
wow. That's what they're doing. Yeah, the lack of self-awareness is unbelievable.
ano siya, ano
Do
na
us all.
itong ano,
Get over it.
siya,
Shut up.
discipline,
So yeah, you guys already know my opinion here. I think sometimes Liz makes some good points, sometimes they don't, sometimes
Pero
they
reason
scream
lang eh.
and sound silly, but I do enjoy how they make Corpos mad. Even if I disagree with some of the things these lists are saying on there, I do find it amusing because of that fact. Let me know what you guys think about all that, and now moving on to the next part of this video, Mike Rose.
This is so fucking silly, man. It's so fucking silly that they, because here's really what the problem is.
Hindi ko man lagi, 1.
They
Basta wala
want
yan.
you to not be able to
Nataas pa
express
lang
what
eh,
your
1.5
opinion is.
mga ganun.
They
Tapos,
fundamentally want to take away
When
your
you
right to
rate ko,
speech,
one
and
lang
they
din
want
lagi
to
yan.
have your opinion censored, and they want it to be
Tambuti
where
nga,
you
win
are
rate mo,
not
1.
allowed to have this type of an opinion.
Sa dati mga
That's
sa
crazy.
pagkisa na COD ngayon, hindi ko nang bukawa sa kapura. Ayun,
Absolutely insane. They
objective.
just don't like all the hate.
Hindi ako objective. Hindi ako rin sa objectives. Kaya
So they
talalo.
don't want you to have your opinion.
Sama rin sa problema.
They say that you're not allowed to have an opinion, you're not allowed to express their opinion, because they think that
Ano
that
ko
opinion
sa
is hateful.
KD Music. Ito talaga, i-enjoy ako nila. 1-1 na ako.
Oh.
Yeah, it's literally that simple. Don't be a hateful. I don't like the idea that because some people have opinions that you consider problematic, that then they shouldn't be having the right to have that opinion. Unless they're openly advocating for violence or like threatening violence, then I think they should be able to have an opinion on whatever they want. That's the way it is. Who decides what hate is? Who decides who watches the watchmen? Who watches the people? Who's the one that's determining what is and isn't okay to say? Well, that changes, doesn't it? And that's why it's a problem. You can't let somebody make those decisions. It's a pretext. Yeah, it's a pretext for control. Like, I'm sorry, but like, I think people have realized what the conclusion for this is because it's happened so many times.
Part of this video, Mike Rose over on his Blue Sky account made this post on Blue Sky with over 10,000 likes. A lot of people over there love this.
I'm gonna be surprised. I didn't know Blue Sky had 10K users.
Take, it seems. He says, everyone trying to work out why video games aren't selling anymore. Quote, too many games. Prices are too low. Marketing is hard, unquote. When the answer this time around is actually simple. The world got destroyed and no one has any money. People are struggling to pay bills and rent, let alone buy your game. Look, things have definitely been a mess, but when it comes to the gaming industry, largely the game...
The funny thing about what he's saying is actually it's been found out that in recessionary and economic bad times, people will end up spending more money on luxury goods in some cases and entertainment to distract themselves from their real lives. And that's why you can see a lot of games even this year, like Black
Tagal na eh.
Helldivers was so fun. You also have what do you call it?
Gago mo,
Dragon
ito
Quest
ako
2
pagsa
is
ng
kind of
time to
popular.
XP.
I
Daka
think
lang
this is
10,000
entirely
yung
fake
kukuha.
Visual
Dahil
luxuries,
wala
yeah, exactly.
Ito, 10,000.
And that post is trying to cover, it's trying to make excuses for these AAA companies.
Ngayon na
When I
iba.
say AAA companies, I'm also specifically talking about Western AAA.
Bigla ko
Specified that,
sayang.
but I'm clarifying it now.
Yeah, Capcom is hiring more
Kasi
people.
parang
From
ako sa'yo.
Software increased their base salary. This whole idea that video games are in some sort of a depression is not true. Video games aren't in a depression. Western development studios are. That's the problem.
Yan, ginamit ko na yung
A lot
isang
of gaming
1
companies
hour.
in Asia, for example, have been doing
Ilan mo
great.
wala mo sa
Last month,
sila
Ubisoft even announced that they were
Yung
increasing
kapatid.
the average
Great
basic salary pay by around
Kasi
10%.
So true.
And what's absolutely is that the gaming companies over in Asia that are struggling right now
Yeah.
are often the ones that are adopting Western practices like DEI. For example, as I talked about just yesterday, a recent financial report from Square Enix was so bad that it caused a massive sell-off of their stock, and the market cap lost around $350 million. This follows their
50,000
partnership
din.
with Sweet Baby Inc. and their further involvement with
Kikinig
practices
ka
as
lang,
mentioned like
galing.
DEI, pushing all
I don't think that's the reason. I,
Get some! Extra crispy!
like that's like maybe like a small percentage. It's probably a
Batak na batak na mga
percentage
tao.
of the reason why.
ikaw yung matapos na gano'n ka ng standard. Pero pag
coverage, to be fair, I should also mention other
Kaya,
instances
tapos sa kanila talaga dyan sa solo. Tapos ayun natin yung video. Ikaw at yan, dito pati.
Western policies they've been adopting certainly known to be helping when other major gaming companies in Asia
Pero yung pa rin ba,
are causing great success.
hindi naman.
I think
Titin
people
pa lang,
use
titin.
video games as a form of escapism. And anytime that people feel like the video game they're playing is, you know, like involving itself with something that removes that escapism, it's going to lower their interest in the game for that reason. And because like fundamentally they can't escape out of the game now because or escape out of their real life now because they feel like their real life has been put into the game.
That we can see more
pretty
evidence
simple.
of these policies hurting Western companies when you take a look at games like SSK the JL, and now that apparently cost Warner Brothers around $200 million.
Jesus.
Of course, also Concord and the massive
Oh, Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. He probably didn't want to say the words to not get demonetized. I understand. Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
that was. And recently, Dragon Age the Veilguard, which, while isn't as disastrous as Concord, seems like they're struggling to even hit break-even point based off all the current metrics. And when I say they,
I think that, I mean, Dragon Age, it's not a terrible game. It's just not a very good game either. It's like just an, it's fantasy Starfield. Like, honestly, I'd say probably maybe Starfield might have been a little bit better. Yeah, it's just it's a mid game, right? And also, like, there's another problem with Dragon Age. Is it like, how many of you guys actually played it? Like, actually played it? Okay, nobody's played it. For those of you that have played the game, have you run into the same problem where, like, after you get past, like, level 20 or, like, 25 or so, you feel like you're just spamming the same few abilities with, like, you know, hitting bosses or mobs that have used to really just not help? It's very yeah. Yeah, same and so like even if you get if you drill down into the game,
second yata yung quiz yung binabasa ko. Hindi ko mag-gets, putik yan.
So yeah, returning to that
Yung
post
may
with Mikey,
bilog na
I've seen a
ano,
lot of
nalabas
people,
pag
often
binato.
corpos,
Hindi ko
where they ignore the real policy issues going on at Western AAA companies, and instead they seem to try to deflect and cover for them. And keep in mind,
another
there
big component for why a lot of people are losing interest in a lot of Western games is because Western games are turning into the same game. It's like basically every single game is the same. And it's kind of like how, you know how movies have turned into like kind of a Marvelization of movies? I think that video games, it's like a Fortniteization. Where like after Fortnite's success, I feel like so many other games have tried to emulate that style in multiple ways, and that's caused them to have like a sameness. Yeah, the Ubisoft formula, exactly. Yeah.
Are other issues going on with corporations, for example, their inflated expenses. However, Mike is specifically talking about why people aren't buying their games, why folks does think that is a good point. And it's really weird how often certain types of people try to ignore how well people DEI has verified they cause a negative impact on many game sales. But
I do think that's a huge problem, is that a lot of developers and journalists try to ignore the problem and hope that it goes away. And like, you know, here's what's going to happen. You're going to ignore the problem and it is going to go away. The people are going to leave. That's what's going to happen. And I see this all the time where they're like running defense for it and like trying to pretend like, oh yeah, there aren't a lot of people that think this. Well, if you go to the YouTube channel and you look at the amount of people that are responding to this, I do actually think that like an official trailer getting a really bad reception on YouTube does absolutely play into people's opinions. And like maybe not the super normies, but there probably aren't that many super normies. Like there's a lot of people that play video games and like playing video games and they look on YouTube. Like a lot of people use YouTube. And guess what? They're gonna see that and they're gonna scroll down to the comments and they're gonna be like, wow, a lot of people really think this game sucks. I don't wanna play it.
Ah.
I use the show dislike button. If I see 90% dislike ratio, I'm staying away. Yeah, and I think that's a lot of people. So this whole, like, basically I think that there's a lot of game studios that are banking on basically low information gamers instead of low information voters buying their games, even though their games have bad reputations, inside of more invested communities. And I think that's what companies like Ubisoft they're trying to bank on.
I want to talk about the Game Awards. Look at this. It says, according to the official website of the Game Awards, the opinion of the fans counts in the selection of winners, but the value of the fan vote is much smaller than that of the jury vote. Thus, the jury's decision counts for 90% compared to 10% for the popular vote, aka the fan vote.
Yeah, I talked about this earlier.
The jury vote is right here. The jury includes IGN, Inverse, Jeff Gerstmann Show, Kinda Funny, LA Times, Min Max, PC Gamer, Polygon, VentureBeat, The Verge, Tough Arcade, What's Good Games, Game Rant, NPR, Pride.com, and Variety. So as you can see, most of this list by
totally represents me as a gamer. Oh yeah. Oh, this is, yeah, these are the people that are really going to be able to tell me what the best games are.
Let's go.
For sure.
Bar has like nothing to do with gaming, but here you go. This is the jury for the Game Awards. I also know that most gamers, like, we don't care about this stuff at all. We don't care about the Game Awards. This is just some corpo nonsense. But it's another example of how lame.
I think people care about it. It's not a big deal. Like, I mean, who gives a shit at the end of the day? But it does matter. Sure, it matters.
Stuff is, and I thought it was pretty funny to take a look at. Also hilarious how Kinda Funny is on this list, when just the other day we were talking about Andy Cortez from Kinda Funny, and how he went on this giant rant about gamers. He was like so mad that
It was like a minute rant, but like, you know.
First dare criticize. Yeah. Anyways, that's it for this video. Let me know what you think about these topics in the comments, and if you missed the earlier video about 2D with Ubisoft and all that, consider checking that out.
That was crazy. Like, I could not fucking believe that. Oh my, it looks so fucking bad. Oh my god, how does it look that bad?
Out too. Hope you enjoyed today's segment. Consider liking and subscribing if you did, and I'll see you in the next one.
I just don't know what to say. Just a literal crap. What do you think about game devs?
This is a real tweet from Xbox.
What do you think if the panel was game devs instead that aren't being represented? I think that they should make it, like, I think it should be a panel vote, but I think that it should be 80-20, with, like, fans being 80% and the panel being, like, 20%, somewhere around there. So I do think that there should be, like, some degree of editorial control that's exercised, but it shouldn't be, like, a 90-10 against fan voting, right? Yeah, fill up the panel with haters. Yeah, fan-based 100%. I think that's fine, but I feel like fan-based 100%, like, you can do that already. You just look at Steam charts, and the game that has the most people playing it on Steam charts, that's right? Pretty simple. Yeah, like Cotton Tomato. What the fuck is a Cotton Tomato? Only if you guys have it. I feel like what's happened is that, I can't believe they would tweet this out. We're living in one of the greatest ages right now. And here's the thing. It's really funny because I agree with them, but because it's Dragon Age, I feel like there's so many really good games that are coming out all the time now. All the time there's great games that are getting released. And now, like, I feel like it's just, there's so much focus put on the bad games that we never think about the good games.
Gagi, nag-bug sa akin.
Nagpag.
Yung ano, naging blurred yung screen. Parang mabilis yung takbo mo habang nakaglide.
That was painful just watching it.
Ganun. Shit, ayaw bumalik. Wait.
Bakit?
Wait, ayaw nga bumalik.
Buti ka?
Hindi yung ano na ano,
Someone splattered.
yung effect na medyo blurred. Saka na ayaw matanggal pag nag-zipline ka.
Gago, makakatrip ko na to.
I'm so done with target discrimination. How's that dirt taste?
Ito, yung pinimilit ko.
Hey, look out for that! Too late, my bad.
Okay ba? Ang gago. Ayos no? Hindi pwede na pwede. May pwede ng 8K.
Ano, send ko sa messenger. Tinan mo yung screen ko sa ano.
Ah, sabi ko, nangyari dyan. Yan yung screen mo yun.
Check me,
Oh.
asshole!
Putik nung nag-ano ko sa ano sa...
Huwag na ko lang mo siyang mo eh.
Hindi na ako. Nung nag-ano ko sa ano sa zipline, hindi na natanggal.
Kahuli.
Yung effect sa zipline ko pag mabilis yung takbo.
Hindi ako ganito ako. Sa kanya na itong trip eh.
Bakit? Ay, sa ulo.
Yan, good pa.
You say collateral damage, I say crowd control.
Simpleng ano lang. Pakayusin eh.
Plastic ah. Hindi mo pwedeng gawin yung ano. Eh, oras ng ano. Para tigil yun.
Down you go, creepy.
Kuya, kaya mo ano? Naka nagko-indusa kasi ako 15.
Ano, parang 13 pinakamataas ko din.
Ha?
13 pinakamataas ko.
Nag-try mo?
Oo, tinry ko. Ang 13 ang lapit na nun eh.
Solo? Or basically just one?
Pag solo, 12.
Oh, seryoso? Try niyo bukas.
Pagkahirap.
Ano ka? Mag-break
Pero
up ka.
nakatawa pag ano, nakatawa pag squad. Last trip pa. So, may namamatay lahat eh.
Oo. Hindi, pag mga ganun, magaganon kayo. Pag ano ka, mag-gamble ka, break-aholic. Basta yung mga mahalagang ano.
Maraming mga perks agad.
Hindi kayo, break-aholic lang or ano. Break-aholic. Yung pag bumuli ka ng weapon sa World Buy or sa Mystery Box, mag-i-impact na agad. Basta naman yung mga sumbisani sa hardware doser. Yun, lumalakas damage.
Oo.
Hindi sila mamalo.
That makes things a little easier. Ugh, I heard that one. I might like that better than shooting. Going back.
Okay, so daw. So, we're a per person, nakatuhoy na sila. Oh shit.
Get me back in the fight.
Pag hindi gumana yung decoy. Dick.
Asa nga?
Look up.
I got you, Pep.
Nagbato akong decoy, hindi gumana. Hindi pinansin.
And pass na stock boy. And pass na stock boy. Yo, kahit pa down ka, dahil mo ng pera. Parang pili na fix na yung ano, yung sa may pera, sa may yan. Never mind, nag-access ako ng 1,000, putang ina.
Ayaw bumalik.
Bumalik.
Nang buff.
Bak. Ha? Bak?
Kung ayaw mo bili ng Jaggernog.
So po, seryoso.
Somebody blew a fuse.
Galing.
Save ya. Ngayon ko ganun.
Why do things the hard way?
Sunod niya.
zombie. Yan.
Pangit na screen mo.
Ha?
Pangit na screen.
Ilo ka niya mamaya. Ilo ka niya mamaya.
Yun na nga eh.
Sometimes we need a little help from our undead friends. Get some! Extra crispy! Right in the CPU!
Ito? Kapok!
Double points.
Unlimited yung shock trap ko.
Yung?
Yung shock trap ko. Yung tactical na shock charge.
Di na umo?
Ginaubos ko. Meron naman. Kung anong bug. Ayun, nawala pa na. Baka nakabuhat lang pala ako.
Ito po ba?
Ayun! Di nagbabag yung ano. Yung sa shop. Di na. Nakakabili na ako ng puno. So, just try mo. Ito. Fix na nila. Huwag ka lang dito.
Ayun.
Yung sa magbili. Fix na nila. Nano ko na eh. Nakakabili na ako ng tatlo na eh. More than one.
Pakanto mo yung vehicle, tapos try mo ulit yung ulit.
Ha?
Try mo yung gamitin yung vehicle, tapos bumili ka ulit.
Ayun nga, ginawa ko na. Nabeses na.
Ayun.
Magpapag ako sa video yun. Yung hipon. Tunog. Okay. Ay no, yan nagbabag.
Masa na?
Ayun.
Zombie.
Gago tapos kang road.
Tanga kanina pa. Ayan.
Another one splattered!
May ikaw na, kung magaraw din ka, yung mo siya sabi.
Minimay pa.
Yung wala ko yung man. Paparin din. Malaman.
I'm so done with target discrimination.
So, yung mga indicator pag nag-ilaw din. Shampoo pa. Ay, hirap po ng pagtakin ng nagbabag, hima nila. Hindi nagbabag yung mga tactical. Nakaano ako eh, nakadami na akong bili. Isaw, yung SMG, Max 7, yung Max na lahat nito.
Ano yung SMG yung bago?
Oo,
Hindi pa.
naanak ko.
Hindi ba yata?
Huwag mo na kunin yun, huwag mo na kunin yung weapon na ano. Yung butterfly, nakuha ng sinilumit eh. Tumat ko ng suot yung weapon, nakuha ng weapon.
Huwagay.
Wow. Then again. Okay, go.
May
Ano?
watch yun.
I-renovate na, huwag na kasi may nag-glitch ka. Choice. Para matapos na yung ano, mag-solo ka nila. Mas maganda. Ano?
Kung sa'yo natin, titinan ko kung magkano XP ang makukuha pag
Hindi, ano na?
2.25.
Hindi na re-revive. Puta, matibay ako. Try na lang. Eh, nakuha ko yung alchemist. Nice! Nakuha ko lang. Sila. Nag-kill ko yung alchemist. Putang ina.
Gano'ng kalaki kaya?
Ano kaya? Ba?
Gagawin ba't sa'yo yung nilalapak?
Dopo. Ako lang namatay. Pilit mo na ipin.
500k. 500k.
Kapal na mukha mo gano'n. Napakapal mo na ito. Ito yung mga, ano, mga 100 sa'yo. Mga 100. Ay hindi, teka mga 70 ata. Hindi ko lang alam.
Lugi pag 7.
Kung marami ng ano, lugi hindi lugi yan. Pero yung panel mas malaki yan.
Dalawa
lang
kalahati.
natin. Sama yung mahal yan sa XP. At naka-double XP ka ba? Malaki yan. 100, mga 100 nga yan. Nagutang yan, 200 yan, matik yan. 200 yan tayo. 100 sa akin eh.
141.
Malaki na rin. Sabi maganda eh. Nag-pop kasi ng text to XP sa ano eh, medyo late na eh.
Ay, 30 minutes pa lang pala yung nagagamit.
Oo, Dani, maganda ulit. Mag-ano ko na lang, suluan lang. Bukas na lang ito. Kayang yan. Kapitan mo.
Oo nga.
Yeah, bukas ulit. Ay,
Yes.
ano? Yeah.
Welcome to Liberty Falls. Population? Well, less than yesterday. Glad to see backup arrive. Hell, lucky I'm still in one piece. I need you to look for survivors. Subdue any threats. Help me save this town. Copy. Listen up. We've got 3 scientists unaccounted for, last seen in town. Locating and extracting them is now your top priority.
Boom! Checkmate, asshole!
Bonus points.
You know, the people who lived here trusted us. We failed them, and I can't even explain how.
Double points.
Back to the grave!
Some sort of half-assed blueprint. Might be worth a closer look. Miniature jet engine. One of ours. How the hell did he get hold of that?
Your project data security, yes? A so-called rapid response team. Not nearly rapid enough, but I knew you would come.
I've seen deadlier weapons at a knitting convention. Rotate your ass over here for some real firepower.
Down you go, creepy.
Bravo Zulu. One less skull spider to worry about. That must have been Dennis Griffin. Church groundskeeper. Good guy. Seems his luck didn't stick around in the end, though. Wonder what the key's for. All right, Riffle. Let's see what you've been keeping locked up in here. Good find. That's got to be the handbrake for the Thrustodyne weapon. Handy. That should fit any standard pressure control valve.
Shuffled right into that one.
Max armor.
So good to be all tired out. Rally on marked cohorts. Indicating waypoint.
Max armor.
Yes and yes. Oh, I'm gonna wreck some shit. I heard that one. Down like dominoes.
Double points.
Throwing decoy. Where can a girl get some armor around here?
Wala.
I think I can guess the magic ingredient.
Jagger.
Get in! You can thank me later. Now that's some fun.
Tear them to pieces.
Hello and welcome to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 competitors of War Games Survivor Series, not 4 on 4. Count. I'm Ollie Davis, I'm joined by Luca and DAD, and yes, in this episode we are going to be going through every WWE Superstars creative pitches for Survivor Series War Games in 3 words or less / fewer.
But because there isn't room for everyone on the War Games card, because there are only 5 matches on a Triple H pay-per-view, some people will just have to enjoy nice catering, and here they are. Sorry, Chad Cable.
Didn't you find a crank wheel by the flower shop?
I've got Chad on.
Oh, I've got Chad as well. Chad is. Sorry, Chad is.
Oh boy, but before we get into all our 3 count predictions, what about TNA, Luke?
Well, because there is a better version of War Games available. It is called TNA Lockdown. And we're going to celebrate TNA by over at patreon.com/WrestleTalk doing a 3 count episode where we review every TNA World Championship. 3 words or less.
That's why we need your support on Patreon at patreon.com/WrestleTalk.
YouTube ad revenue sucks.
Oh no, what's the guy from the bad guy from Aladdin? And I went, Jafar? I think Jeff Hardy's custom belt looks like Jafar.
Jafar Hardy.
It's Team Daddy. Yeah, because the crown jewel got taken out by an RKO. WWE have just dropped that, but I'm not. I'm doing a traditional 5-on-5 elimination match with no cage.
I hear you. Because I've got Team Pierce captain.
So Pierce is the captain of. We've said the same thing. I'm not going to shake on it. Auntie Slow Burn.
Not really needed.
Yeah. Mellow does miss. Yeah. I'll explain the spot when we get to Mellow.
Okay.
But they are in Mel's.
As is my entourage. Jealous of Knights.
One more item crossed off the shop.
He's getting more of a spotlight for Team SmackDown.
Oh, but it is like you've got Andrade, Mello,
and LA Knight.
LA Knight, all in there.
I know I'll pay for it in the
New
morning.
MTV League.
Never breaking up. What do you mean?
What, have you not seen recently? He's revealed he was in Spider-Man.
What?
Yeah. There is a shot of, I think it's in the prison in Rikers.
Yeah.
And the Vulture is Michael Keaton's Vulture walking along, and just one of the inmates walking past is Austin Theory.
So it is. Look at him there with his terrible goatee. He's a man who wants to have one. I understand that.
Bailey. That's a War Games. It's a Lady Games.
You saw Raw this week, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you know they're not involved in any.
No, it's going to come.
This is feels like one of your things to break down pre-Raw.
No, it's still good.
Post-Raw.
Still good. Liv and EO are going to feud, do their own thing.
Are you sure
It's
now?
going to be her own thing.
The John Cena little green screen thing. Are you sure?
Team Nia versus Team Bailey. It's still good.
US tourney veteran.
You think she wins?
Doesn't say she wins. She's the veteran of the tournament.
But Raw return.
Ah, Netflix title match.
Oh, what, on the first episode?
Yeah.
I've got her returning.
Nice work. Let's have a look
Cargill
inside.
wins.
Wait till Mania.
Jack, that's the wireless for the jet gun.
Coachman told
That's
me
everything we need for the jet gun. Let's head back to the
It's becoming my
motel
new
and wrap this
favourite
thing.
podcast here, Jonathan Coachman. You just said anything. Been secretly cleared.
Oh, that's a... I mean, really hope so. Really hope so. For the New Day 1,000-year celebration.
1,000 years.
Into Spear. Who's on your team? Oh wow, I went a lot more.
He tries to say the one break.
Well, yeah, but he's better mid card.
Yeah, well,
I've got our truth on it.
no, I put some stars in my one because Raw's plan is to bring all the beefy boys together.
Cage cartoon hole.
What, so he goes through and is like a little silhouette of him behind?
Yeah, I think he breaks through the cage. We're like 3 years into main roster War Games matches now, and it's no one's gone through a cage wall.
It's been 3 years and it's time to make it love.
Yeah, it's time to undermine it.
That doesn't matter now, does it? This thing
We've only got 4 members on this team. We need a 5th member. We'll just put this random mid-carder in the group. One line only. They don't belong in the story, but it doesn't matter, does it?
Yeah, because then he was annoyed with CM Punk came back.
He could have done that without being in that match, though. It's not like he beat the Judgment Day and then was, oh no, he was on the Judgment Day's team.
Now mute gimmick. He's always going to go to say something and someone's going to talk over him.
Has been noticeably quiet for the last few weeks.
And just like, since Japanese joke.
Yeah. It's just a joke, though, isn't it? Yeah. Stop being so sensitive, Snowflake. Squashed by Raiders.
New bar team.
So him and
Andrade.
Oh, good.
They're on Team Aldis, and this is when Mello goes to hit Andrade, but misses, hits the other guy like an opponent, and Andrade's like, "You saved me." And after this long series, they form a partnership on a misunderstanding.
Very nice. I have got, though, Andrade team explodes.
Gotcha. Team Pierce, Team Daddy. And I put Ray Coexist Anger.
Assuming that Ray is also on your team. Deserves much more.
Unfortunately not. I'm just the guy who's right.
Didn't have Bailey.
Still trying.
Somehow this yeah, it's the right one. Yeah. Team Jax rejects.
Oh, they don't want her.
They want Piper. And Chelsea keeps on. I can go.
US 23 just keeps advancing in it through sort of like fluke happenstances, makes it to the final.
Raw return.
New champ.
What? He wins the belt on Raw on the January 6th Netflix.
Here's my big brain scheme that I've come up with. I now know my WrestleMania card, and it starts with CM Punk beating Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship on the first Raw.
That's enough parts for
Are you
the
going to tell us who he faces at Mania?
I think, who was he supposed to face this year?
Proceed with caution, Alpha.
Seth
That's what I think. That's what I think the Raw main event will be: Punk versus Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Director.
We'll do something.
With Goldberg. I think when you say main event or Raw main event, you mean WrestleMania.
It's not a main event. What's in this?
That's why get that opening match.
He got to main event at WrestleMania.
Special guest referee.
Special guest commentator.
Oh, you're late.
Well, it's not the thunder referee thing a lot. Like, I don't think he's the WWE champion. Don't make him a referee. The special guest commentator.
I like my one more.
I mean, yeah,
it'll be more dramatic with Randy or I presume Kevin Owens match. Of course, not for Team Nia versus Team Bailey.
Not for that, no. He's in one of the main events matches. No, I've got him as a guest commentator on the outside, providing expert analysis.
Goldberg Balor filler. So Gunther's long-term direction is Goldberg. Damian Priest's long-term direction is Finn Balor. So here's something to get us through November. Tag Civil War.
Oh, good. More Judgment Day Civil War.
That's what you want.
Just what I want. More Judgment Day interesting.
Dom interference accidentally costs Finn and JD the tag belts to the War Raiders.
I'm looking at Damian Priest. All respect to Damian Priest. I think that man is cool. But I'm like, should have been. Should have been done.
On Team Pierce.
Oh, Phoenix. Me?
Out until Rumble.
Gone until Rumble. Oh. I've actually had that, I think, for a few months now, since Hell in a Cell.
Team Nia cheerleaders.
So I wonder why you have this down. Because I'm like, why have you got LT Prince of all people listed on your, like, here's one you need to fill out for us. Easy tag defenses. The only thing I can think of even doing.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun to have Pretty Deadly outside the War Games cage, cheerleading Team Nia.
It is fun if you were doing Team Nia versus Team Bailey, which clearly they are not doing.
Oh. Speak. Want a £10 bet on that?
I mean, do you want
to? I owe you 10 quid. Obviously costs Priest.
Loses Titans.
Literally bang from the back.
Really? What happened?
Yeah, what happened?
What did you do?
I think he guffed him a little bit. I think he's in the lift with Paula Beck.
Or it's a silent one. And he's like, oh, I might get away with this. And then Triple H went,
Hell yeah! Let's give them a taste of their own ammo.
But it's actually a power play because Paula Beck did farts. And he's like testing Vinci, like, was that you?
Yeah. I know, if it were Regime, he'd have got a main event push out of this because he'd have found it hilarious.
Or Bret Hart. He's just going to post on social media a picture of him and Bret Hart. It's going to fuel the feud. Well, because that's kind of the start of it all. And Gunther's like, hey, we veterans are actually totally cool together. Unlike you disrespectful punk Gunther.
Right.
I want to read it out loud.
Get some!
What have you got?
Extra crispy!
Retirement match. Gunther.
Yeah.
Is he even on social media?
After Finn has done the interference, Damian Priest has already beaten Gunther. Picks him up. Jack Hammer stares into the camera. Wins with Jack Hammer.
Very nice. I've got beats Priest. Doubts. Because he's beaten by a interference again. Twice now. He's only been able to beat Damian Priest by a interference. So maybe that's going to cast some doubts.
That's what we wanted. Constantly doubting us. Yeah, totally. Best women wrestler. She's not going to win, but she's the best woman wrestler.
She's also not being Not in. And Survivor Series. Also, she's not in control of the team that she's on. She's just a bit hot.
Splash off cage.
Nice.
I love you, Solo!
do it for solo.
Pins Nia Jax.
Not bad.
And that's why Bianca gives her the side eye.
Oh, I see.
Because, you know,
Who said I wasn't a pipe fitter?
And you've got to pin your world champion. Yeah, it's always a really good thing to do. I actually, when I wrote down my match order, I forgot to put on a second War Games match. So my women's match, the one that they were teasing on Raw, is just a traditional Survivor Series match. So I've got for Jade Cargill, your sole survivor.
Because you don't believe in equality.
Of course, no. What, going to put women in a War Games match? What are they going to do? Cook in there?
Yeah, cooking like the kids say. No kidding. I've got Jackson at the moment in my team Nia. More Cargill standards. Friends with on with Finn.
Sides with Finn.
I feel like Finn's head not being in the game is what loses them the tag titles.
Well, JD's got a massive one. Can you help him get his head back into
Tossing
it?
Semtex grenade.
Also, Cage Splash.
At the same time!
Not at the same time, but they're both up there and they're like, I'm gonna splash. No, I'm gonna splash. Like Jacob does what Jay does.
Yeah, I like that.
Brothers. Sammy handshake.
They finally
They
go-
build up to it.
Same page, or like, just make up your mind, Jimmy. Are you throwing the ones up with Sami Zayn, or are you annoyed that he's on your team? Like, what side are you on, man?
I know what you mean. It doesn't irk me. I feel like Jimmy would do that. You know, we need to be all together, but really he's still not cool with Sam.
Feels like they're two different shows, but with the same story.
Announces Rumble entry.
Announces for Rumble.
There we are. Take my hand. Like I've offered it to
You say collateral damage, I say crowd control.
you. Dom me and handshake. Jumping Rumble entry. Elbow kills Dom.
Oh, that's cool. An elbow to Dominic Mysterio. That's Scullion. Not that big
Oh, painful just watching it.
Raw's most underrated.
I stand corrected. I've made a lot of fun across on this show over the last 2 years, and genuinely it's become one of my favourite things on the show. I stand corrected.
Yeah. Sitting down. Are we going to say at the same time?
I don't know, because I'm pretty pleased with my one, so let's go with yours first.
Package pile driver return.
I like that. I've got different. Gone pile driver later though. Pile driver, no sell.
Oh, what? Randy gives him a pile driver and Owens just pops right back up.
It's the hatred he has for him. So that's his
Big E reunion! He's cleared!
Sorry, I thought it was another word there, but
Look out, you not the good way.
so in the Woods Kofi tension, one of them's got to hit the other one at some point, and Kofi will be the first to strike.
Kill my boy Kofi. Oh, he's a babyface.
Still a babyface now, it's an accident. In the heat of the moment.
Sometimes
US Coexist Division.
Very good. I've gone for team captain.
Jackson heel support. So she's not in the team, but she's like, go on, you can do it.
I don't know whether this is a controversial take, because I have heard some other podcasters say this, but better than Power Buff?
Yeah, I thought they did really well.
Yeah.
I mean, they feel coherent, unlike Jade and Bianca, who freaking hate each other.
Only have one half of them designs their own gear. Rubbish, they clearly hate each other.
Weekly retains title. That's not weekly as a frequency, it's weekly as in, man, that's weak.
another one's flattered.
Gotta protect Raquel. I know you've got a champion. Come on, gotta protect Raquel here. Lay down, take the pin.
That makes things a little easier.
Hey, this one might need a bit of explanation because I did see when I was on Netflix over the weekend that Tyson was there. Is it Michael Fury?
It's Mike, the older.
And he was doing something with Jake.
So as this video goes out, the Jake Paul would have fought Mike Tyson
In a wrestling match.
live in boxing on Netflix. But I think, you know, Tyson, whatever happens in that match, you can do the Paul brothers at WrestleMania with Tyson plus someone who will actually do all the wrestling.
LA Knight.
Stone Cold.
Oh, actually, hello. That's the one. The bulldogs versus Tyson Austin. That's genius. That is the best idea you've ever come up with on this show. I assumed that they were doing something.
Yes. Temporary Judgment Day.
Why are you putting him in Judgment Day?
Because Gunther's feuding with Priest. Enemy is my friend.
Yes, so. Disappointed in Gunther. Nice.
Can't believe I got hit.
Oh, Gunther.
Need first aid.
Yeah.
I think that's the...
Could be. The reason I didn't put Goldberg at Mania is because I was like, well, Saudi Arabia's right there. I'd probably do it there instead of Mania.
Tag wrestling back burner?
What do you
I know
mean?
they've just won the belts and stuff, but I really feel they don't get a PLE focus, the tag belts.
The tag belts never. They really don't.
But it's under Triple H.
Yeah, and he
They were
doesn't
main
like
event takeovers.
Yeah, no, but he clearly doesn't like tag team wrestling that. If he did,
But he did. That was one of the things we liked about the leg.
well, that was just did that. That means I'm asking. I have actually got to show some of these belts. They are on my Team Alvis.
Team Bailey filler.
US Tawny filler.
Progressive. Beautiful Vancouver.
Shines in War Games. Very much what I thought. There was only going to be one War Games match.
Bailey's fifth win.
Lays Peacemaker run, trying to sort out the game at the end.
I'm so done with
Which is like April as well.
Glad she came back. Fun queen leader.
Yeah, I can see that. However, come on, we all know where this is heading. And it heads to a real classic of 3 counts. Cash in, blow up, miscommunication.
Yeah. Just do the same thing every week, Triple H.
Yeah, totally.
That's how you get the stories to last forever. Wrestles in suit.
No, you got to show off the bod.
No, he's gonna go full Baron Corbin commissioner wrestler.
Triple Albert gets overbeefed.
Gets overbeefed.
Yeah, he thinks I've got this. Unfortunately, I've got a real smart team here. 3 of my best mid-card wrestlers and my tag team champions. Surely, there's nothing that can stop me now. He didn't plan for the beef.
Main roster call up.
Called up, apparently. Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing him when he's healed.
Yeah. I mean, Alvarez said he's been called up already. I don't know if that's true.
Rumble monster spot.
Winning title, mate.
Giant bone reference. It's War Games.
Oh, I see.
He should be there, like, you know, with a big bone and look at it. And then you just
And yes, 3 years, it's time to start making light of War Games.
Maybe?
Announces Roman Reigns.
oh,
There we
brilliant.
go, creepy.
Yeah, so he's going to come
Is that
out.
his return?
That's his return. Ladies and gentlemen, he'll come out and he'll welcome Roman Reigns to the ring.
Chelsea tries replacing.
US Tawny monster.
This is a spot in the Aldis versus Pierce elimination match. So you've got R-Truth and LA Knight in the ring. What's up? Yeah.
Very nice. Now, Team Pierce is full of the big beefy boys. Do you know what we could do with? Some comedy.
Yeah.
So, he auditioned for this. I can be just like this.
Sound like dominoes.
Say weighs 400 pounds. Punt tease reversed.
Hits. Kevin Owens stands up from the nose cell, but
We call that
forwards
flipping
to
an
the
asset.
knees. Set up. Punt's work.
See, I think Orton goes for the punt, and Owens picks him up into the package pile driver.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Somehow mistimes interference.
In a War Games match. This is when it was a traditional Survivor Series match. And I was like, well, we're really protecting Raquel. How can we eliminate her from the match? Of course. Takes all finishes.
No. She starts beating up someone. The referee's like, no, whoa, whoa.
Of course.
Keeps beating him up. Whoa, whoa.
That's even better.
She's eliminated. 2 matches.
to the outside, and they punch, 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 and the referee's like, 7, 8, 9. Oh no, back in, 10. No, you're both cannon out of it, both to the back.
It's disappointing. Takes Pierce seriously.
Chat this front door. Well, by the way, they still have a mid-card match on chat.
You know what? I wrote this before the spoilers came out for the episode of Raw that was taped in advance. I've got squashes everyone somehow. The joke being that she's injured and she won't be back for like a month at least. Turns out she returned the evening after I wrote that, and she's in War Games. So still, squashes everyone somehow.
Somehow still does.
Right. Yeah, let's shake that. Oh, wow. I don't think you do that. I think that is why Roman wants to match with Solo. To get that. It's like a championship.
Well, I guess that was. Surely this is the end of it. You're ending it in War Games.
War Games is the start of the feud. Now you.
But I'm going to wrap this up. Because I think that'll be the singles match. The singles matches are Saturday night's main event.
I think the singles match is at Mania.
No, he's going to be facing, like, I don't know, The Rock or Cody Rhodes or something.
Embraced by Reigns.
Gets Roman hug.
Yeah. What a segment that was on SmackDown. Roman, Sammy, Fist.
Oh, I've got Does Shield pose, yeah.
But Sammy comes in and also...
because it's been 3 years, it's time to undermine the War Games.
Breaker beef banging.
Bro kick Braun.
Ula Fala hanging. I think he's got it on, but he's trying to, get out of it. But they hang him a little bit.
Oh, what? Bossman style. Goofiness suits him.
These are 3 words.
How you spelling those?
NNN, new word. YURNN, new word. HUIHN.
Very good. Very nice. Mid-match filler. With the War Games, you have the interesting start, you have the interesting end, and then you have the 3 guys in the middle. He's one of them.
Surprisingly awesome mastermind.
Yeah.
That turn on the Wyatt 6 was actually really well played.
Really good segment. Somehow turned heel.
Again, yeah. He's been turning heel for 3 weeks, and usually that means it's a long-term story, but no, he turns more heel.
Yeah. Everyone thought that Dom was like, the brilliant at doing that at some. I think Miz did it better.
Yeah. Sponsored by Red One. No, Red One's one word. Isn't it in the marketing?
Let's have a look at this. Red One.
Red One sponsorship. Look,
that's 2 words, I'm afraid, mate. Yeah, look at that.
Goddamn son of a bitch.
And I've gone for Red One sponsorship. Red One sponsorship.
I don't believe you. I think you just changed that.
Unbelievable.
More cash-in teasers.
Teasers cash-in. Again. Tommaso Ciampa.
Another tag split.
Remember NXT, kids?
Fair for pin.
I agree. I actually had Solo Sikoa being the one to take the pin because I had this as the end of this Bloodline feud, but you kind of have made... You talked me into thinking it's Saturday Night's main event. But I've got in match 4. It's safe to put him there. There's less to do in that point.
He won't be able to get out of the cage. KO pile drives 2.
No! Think of his heart.
Levesque's like, no, he did that to Randy. Triple H has the connection to Randy. Owens has a lot of resentment for management right now.
Yeah, and Triple H doesn't want to be an on-screen character. He doesn't like the attention. Doesn't see cages.
Goes it alone.
Oh, no, you're split up New Day.
Big E's back. Kofi's happy. But Xavier's like, this is the past for me.
Attacks Big E.
I had that last month, but I can't even write it down. You can watch another episode of the 3 Count right now, where Luke and I go through every single TNA World Heavyweight Champion ever and review them in 3 words or less /viewer. Do that by going to patreon.com/WrestleTalk right now to get that exclusive episode, and also to help support us making these videos here.
You can also watch more 3 Count by watching us review every single Survivor Series in 3 words or less /viewer.
Here's a clip.
It's all fixed for bad talking. I'm talking about my golden egg. I've got it from the rock. The rock's going to come over here and he's going to pick up the golden egg.
Welcome to the 1, 2, 3 Count. I'm Ollie Davis. I'm joined by Luke Owen, DAD, and...
As usual, it's your fault. And who is your? Well, it's probably going to be me.
You know what the players love? Censorship, and being told that their opinions are less valuable than that of a moral high-roading journalist.
Oh, you want to hear a good example of that? How about the Game Awards? How 90% of the Game Awards are being decided by a panel rather than actual gamers. Whoa!
Saying that the discourse around Dragon Age the Veilguard is proof positive that their opinions are more truthful and valid than ours.
Of course. Naturally.
You would think over the last few years, with the direction that games journalism has been heading in, that they would see an industry that is losing its relevance, that's shrinking.
And I also, I want to say that I am on a bit of a crusade against dishonest journalism. I think dishonest journalism is one of the most corrosive things that we're dealing with as a society. And I think that people ignore it too often because oftentimes it could be something that is parallel with what their views are. I think that journalism is it's a need. We need journalism. And that's why it's so problematic that people are misusing its place.
That is consolidating, has mass layoffs and outlet closures, and people are just not engaging with your platform the same way that they used to anymore because you're not delivering what they're looking for. But instead of seeing any adaptation, any change, or anything like that, we're seeing them point the finger at you and say, you are the problem. The audience is the issue. And even more so,
It's YouTubers, those damn commentary guys, man. Why can't they keep their mouths shut? All they're doing is just poisoning the industry, poisoning the well around these games. And more importantly, they need to be controlled by these platforms because, you know, censorship is great as long as it aligns with my own personal morals.
Yeah, censorship is when it happens to me. Fairness is when I do it to somebody else.
The plan failed. The ploy failed. This sanitized approach to game development, reviewing, and video game discourse isn't landing well with audiences. It's not what they're looking for. It's not authentic. And you would think that this is an opportunity to say, oh, everybody's telling me that I'm wrong.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. But instead, they're saying it's you. The expected outcome of
I don't have a problem. Like, there have been a lot of instances where I've been at odds with my community for different things, where I think something and then everybody in the community thinks something different. I think it's fine if you want to have an opinion that is not a mainstream opinion, but the problem is that I think that the opinions that are being held are things that people think based off of, like, a secondary reason. It's like an ideological thing. Like New Zealand Hawkeye? Yeah, a lot of people disagreed with me on that. Like, I wasn't a fan, other people were. That's it, right? There's always going to be people that disagree with you about things. And I don't think that you should ever change your opinion on something because a lot of people disagree with you. However, some people definitely take it way too fucking far.
Dragon Age the Veilguard is starting to take shape, and it's not looking good. Player ratings continue to drop. The game is now sitting at a 72 on Steam with only a 40% player rating on OpenCritic and an abysmal 3.9 on Metacritic. Gamealytics is now estimating that the Veilguard sold between 310 to 930,000 copies, averaging at a...
Now I have to say that that also was my estimation as well. So I was like 700 to 800K.
Around 621,000 copies sold, a clear sign that this game did not land well with audiences. While some people enjoy the game, and I'll admit that the game has some redeeming qualities, that might not be enough to be able to turn a profit or meet EA's expectations. What this means for BioWare or the future of Mass Effect 5, it's hard to say. However, it is worth remembering that EA shut down Ascendant Studios after Immortals of Avium flopped. A game...
Let's be fair. Immortals of Avium, whatever, was a cataclysmic level failure. That I think, like, that's one that you study in school. It's like a legendary level fall off.
With a lot of writing and themes that bear some resemblance to the Veilguard. Immortals only sold 50,000 copies despite its $125 million budget. If EA invested that heavily into Immortals, we can only imagine what they spent.
That's almost as bad as Concord. It's like that game was so bad that nobody even knew how bad it was.
On the Veilguard. This could mean layoffs for BioWare are looming unless EA decides to make Mass Effect the studio's final chance. Now, while the media attempted to feign that this game was a success, fake it till you make it, I guess, and their positive spin definitely worked initially, now that the game has had some time to simmer and the players don't seem to like it, they have chose to double down and ignore any sense of self-awareness.
As always.
Dwayne Jenkins of Vice wrote an article titled Dragon Age the Veilguard and the Necessity of Games Journalism.
Oh man, I saw this.
Right. I going back into the trenches on this one, so it's no secret. Dragon Age the Veilguard.
It's crazy how dishonest these people are. And I think that's why a lot of people have, like, been against these ideologies. It's because these ideologies are being they're being propped up by incredibly dishonest behavior and language. And people know that they're getting finessed. They know that they're being lied to.
The latest DEI game to be subjected to criticism with zero bearing on the actual game itself. Because I'm tired and already...
Well, the dialogue in the game and the way the game plays and the way your character looks and everything like that is the actual game. I mean, it's not even really true.
Exhausted myself talking about diversity in games, I'll keep this one brief. Now, the irony of saying this from a gaming vertical isn't lost on me. Even if I'm the wrong messenger, I can only hope that the message itself is meaningful enough.
Well,
let's imagine a world without video game outlets. No IGN, no Kotaku, no Polygon. They're all just poop.
Oh, I know. John Lennon wrote a story about... Yeah. Yeah, we know about this. What do you mean? Yeah, it sounds great. Yeah, what are you talking about? Imagine there's no IGN. Yeah. I didn't say Don Lemon. I said John Lemon. Okay, now I said... Okay, all right, let's move on. I did say Lemon there.
Overnight, gone. No more reviews or insights from game journalists.
Yeah.
You know what that leaves you with to gauge how good a game is? Censoring on Metacritic has gotten completely out of hand. Not a smart move if you want to stay relevant, aka in business, because of this whole NWO Great Reset woke psyop has failed.
For a second, I actually thought that he was playing this in the background. And I was like, this is actually so good. Same? Yeah, I'm like, this is perfect. Oh my god.
Narratives crumbling and everyone not bailing out in time will go down with
Yeah.
This, in case, if you couldn't tell, is a user review from Metacritic.
Well, so what? So this, and I said this before whenever like I discussed this originally, is that, yeah, you're absolutely right that there's censorship that happens on Metacritic, and there are people that give stupid reviews. But there's also critics that also give stupid reviews.
From Metacritic. I want you to really read that review. Let it nestle in your brain for a second. Now, what did you meaningfully glean from that? What information in that excerpt will help you decide whether Veilguard is worth your time? That the game...
Whoa. Let me turn it around. What meaningful information would you gather from the review of Concord saying it's a 7 out of 10? The idea that better understand what games are is not true. And that's the reality. I think that games journalists and gamers are actually extremely alike. But the problem is that when any sort of social or political content comes into play, there are two diametrically opposed viewpoints. Because gaming journalists promote, and they are like super positive about, you know, like any type of this like identity politics stuff put in games. And players are very against it. I think that if you look at games that don't have any of that, you'll see pretty much an alignment. They used to be whenever they were gamers.
Of different
That makes things a
ethnicities
little easier.
this franchise extends to moderators not bound to any kind of journalism integrity. Sure, a few YouTubers provide thoughtful feedback on the game, but some couldn't care less about worthwhile relevant discourse. They don't have to decide what's worthwhile relevant. If somebody cares about DEI or social politics being in the game, you don't have the right to tell them that their opinion is invalid. They have every right to have a concern about it or to not like it. There's no reason why they shouldn't be allowed to think that. They do, as elite, yeah. It's ethical journalists. Exactly. I don't see how this is even a conversation. The marketplace, though, yeah. Everybody has a right to choose what they want to look at, and you don't have a right to tell people that they can't care about this or they're not allowed to care about this. Why? Who decided that? To talk about the gameplay, visuals, characters, story, pacing, mechanics, or any of the other nuances one looks for in a traditional review of a game. Instead, they can turn a camera on and say the game sucks because it has pronouns in it, or it features too much diversity, or
well, if they think that, that's true. It's that simple. That's it. Like it's not complicated. Like you want to, if you want to go and sell hamburgers, well, maybe you're gonna have a bad time doing it in India because apparently I think over there like aren't cows sacred. If you're gonna go over and sell Winnie the Pooh T-shirts, you might have a problem doing that in China. If you're gonna go and do a game about like a you know, LGBT romance and you're trying to sell that game in the Middle East, you might have a bad time. That's the way it works. It doesn't work. These people are so caught up in the moral grandstanding of their opinions that they refuse to acknowledge reality.
It doesn't
How's it
matter
feel to be a
what you
winner?
think it should be. If people believe it, then it's true. I don't know why this is complicated.
Would a franchise by introducing any other sexual orientation that isn't straight or a gender identity that isn't man or woman. This is
The reason why is that a lot of people don't acknowledge that there are any other gender identities besides man or woman. There's a lot of people out there that think that. You can't just write this off and say, oh yeah, wow, I wonder why this is happening. It's because this is an opinion held by millions, tens, if not hundreds of millions of people. Igniting conversation with
conversation, 8.2 It's funny though, Greg named the Belgard is getting lambasted for its use of elements because it apparently isn't a 10 out of 10 experience.
So, and this is they use a lot of dishonest rhetoric like this in order to like downplay and to not in good faith engage with the conversation. I think that's a huge issue.
Meanwhile, I don't recall Baldur's Gate 3 getting a whole lot of flack. Oh wait, never mind. I guess I just had a momentary mental lapse. But
no, you didn't. You don't know what you're talking about. That's not, it's totally different. It's a totally different type of... People care about how... Nobody has a problem with this. Nobody has a problem with black people. And that's not happening. Like, yeah, sure, there's people out there, like, at least, like, weapons, it's very, very are some do? Sure. But I don't think it's a, like, it's not a big factor.
Traditionally, people will excuse all that gross diversity if the quality is high enough. But
is that bad?
True to form, that bar is only cleared once perfection is agreed upon. No real-world parallels at all. So they believe that only games journalism can provide reliable and nuanced insights into a game's quality.
The problem with the reviews is the reviews use argumentation, and they think that certain things are important that players don't think are important.
Really wordplay that a lot of journalists use. But notice what they say is few you provide value. But they use the word few because they want to magnify the issue to be as big as it possibly is, even though they are the ones that are cherry-picking some of the most inflammatory discourse that's around Dragon Age and Belgard. See how that works? They're making something seem like a bigger issue than it actually is.
Yeah, it's like what the ADM has done, like about Steam being a problem. Steam has over 1 billion accounts. One in every 1,500 or 2,000 accounts has something that may be interpreted as anti-Semitic or racist or something like that. It's just such a ridiculous thing to say.
World without IGN, Kotaku, Polygon, and PC Gamer or Eurogamer, yeah, I can. It would be players that are actually going off of the opinions of other players, people that are actually playing the game that likely have the same kind of perspective, taste that they do. It's one of the reasons why YouTube and Twitch...
Wait, bro, are you serious? Dragon Age is banned here in Saudi and the only claim... No, is it actually banned in Saudi Arabia? No fucking shot. Oh my god. Man. That's crazy. Probably a lot of predominantly Arab countries, maybe? I don't know. It's probably a religious thing more than anything. They ban anything with a gay character. Why are you shocked? It's just crazy to see. It's crazy to see that there it is.
I'm telling you, like, I've been talking with some of the guys. I'm actually kind of excited. I really want to go. I want to see what it's like over there. I do. That is so, like, it must be so much different. The whole country has to do push-ups now? Yeah.
Content has blown up over the years is because they're much easier to be able to find somebody that you can align your tastes with and have similar opinions on things with and see whether or not you're going to enjoy that game or not. That's probably one of the biggest issues in games journalism today is the fact that the perspective and opinions and beliefs that are held by those in media are not shared by those that are the audience.
Exactly.
And
Yes, absolutely.
As such, it's leading to a conflict. We don't see eye to eye anymore, and because of that, they don't want to pay attention to you or your opinions. They feel that a lot of these folks on YouTube and Twitch are a lot more genuine and less compromised, and in fact, they are less compromised. I mean, the writer themselves says they're going into the trenches. They view this as a battle line, like they're going into war. They view this as a war that they're in. They even go as far as...
It's a war that they started. They started trying to push this stuff, and then they categorized anybody who disagreed with it as some kind of a bigot. Yeah, what a surprise.
Saying, even if I'm not the right messenger, I just hope that the message is meaningful enough. Well, that's the problem. How do you lack the self-awareness to realize that you're magnifying an issue that's not even there to begin with?
Exactly.
Really what it is at the end of the day, you're not good at delivering whatever your message is, or, I don't know, maybe the players aren't bigots.
I think also what brings up a very good point is that a lot of them really aren't very good at delivering their message. They're not good at communicating. And I think that that's the big problem. And it's kind of what I was saying before about like that guy that was like, oh, you're a cracker, or, you know, like the other like weird like leftist things that people say on Twitch and also on Twitter. I hope that they one day realize how unproductive and problematic that is. Because I think at the end of the day, it doesn't make people like them, and it doesn't make people agree with them. And if anything, it pushes people away. And it makes me feel like if your goal is to promote an ideology, and the way that you do it is by constantly alienating people and being hostile, maybe you're not trying to promote an ideology, maybe you're just a fucking... Maybe, right? Now, one thing I want to keep in mind is players and YouTubers are the ones that are creating this toxic echo chamber. Game journalism is the most important, insightful, and truthful, as Nathan Grayson of Aftermath writes on her title, Dragon Age Review Podcast, shows just how much YouTube and Twitter exploiting the video game business. The more you enable these people structurally, systematically, the more thing they gain until they become the default. Quoting. So what you're saying is that the solution to people having an opinion is silencing them so they can't have an opinion. I see. So that's where we're at. Yeah, the headline is saying gamers are poison. Yeah, so why are you worried? See, this is the way that I look at it. Why are you worried about your why are you worried about your ideology, excuse me, becoming like no longer the default if you think that your ideology is accurate? Because logically, in a free marketplace of ideas, the best ideology usually wins out given a long enough time period. So, what are we doing? It's because they know it's not.
Discussions from their podcast, Nathan writes, these days, when a big new game comes out, you can pretty much roll the dice on what kind of reactionary controversy it will produce. Are we looking at a moral panic over trans characters, diversity consulting, games journalists being too positive, games journalists being too negative, some other quibble that'll be forgotten in a week, interchangeably swapped out like grains of sand dragged away by the unrelenting tide?
Theater kid language.
Anyway, the usual suspects got mad about Dragon Age the Veilguard.
The usual suspects, it is.
I heard that one.
And he's always been very we've had very polite conversations privately. And there's been no real problem is totally wrong.
Watch your six. There's gotta be no balls.
Squat
whatever the hell just popped out of that corpse.
Is effectively you saying that people they don't have the right to have an opinion on a certain topic. I don't agree with that. I think that if somebody has an opinion about something and they don't like it, it doesn't matter why that reason is, they're still entitled to that opinion. Stupid opinions people are still entitled to because they're people. It's wrong thing. Yeah, exactly. It only happens in the West. This is especially apparent in Pride Month. Every year in Pride Month, they fly rainbow colors, Western social media account, while the Muslim branch stays the same. They don't put shit about it. That's kind of a separate problem, but I do think the reason entitled to this stupid well, the reason why I care is because people like this actively go out of their way to try to get other people like deplatformed and taken down. And that's really where the issue is. I think that if this was just a conversation and a war of ideas, then it would be a good thing. But the problem is that these people are losing the war of ideas, and they're trying to, you know, run to Big Brother to hopefully protect them from the people in chat or the people in the comment section that disagree with them. That's the reason why I care about it. It's because these people are actively promoting and trying to advocate for censorship and deplatforming. That's the reason why it's bad. Whereas I'm not. Aren't you doing that? No. I think that Nathan Grayson can write as many articles as he wants. I completely support his freedom. Absolutely. If you want to talk about this game and then okay, go ahead. That's totally fine. Episode of After That Hours for a full rundown on why, but the whole thing is illustrative of a larger, more important issue. Thanks to algorithmic prioritization on sites like YouTube and Twitter, this is how a growing number of people engage with video games. Plenty of people still manage to tune out the plenty of normal people. This is the thing, is that a normal person would look at the dialogue from Tosh in Dragon Age. A Walmart American would look at it and be like, wow, that's really fucking weird. This entire idea that this is what normal people like this stuff and are okay with this stuff is, it's very clearly not true. And if anything, these are people that are masquerading as the majority, but in fact they are a vast minority. Long rants and conspiracy theories, but at one point this random flavor of brainwash both lead to a borderline mainstream position. What are the long-term consequences of that? I guess my universal concern about all of this is that as the American fascist project continues to grow in power and all of these platforms, this is way too much, man. Way too much. The American fascist project. What are we talking about? Why are we, what is this? We're talking about people that don't like a video game. They don't like a video game because they don't like the ideology of the people that made the game or something. Like, what are we talking about? Like American fashion? Like, this is, what the fuck is this? Dude got lost in the sauce? Yeah.
These ways of talking, thinking, and whatnot. Do we reach a point where this becomes the deal? Because I would say right now,
we do if most people agree with it.
Now, this is not the way most normal people talk about games or engage with them. A lot of people, as we've seen based on Dragon Age's Steam numbers right now, saw the game, thought it was cool, bought it, and are playing it. If you look at Asmongold's most recent.
Writing articles about me, having conversations about something that I said. That's just...
That was painful just watching it.
Video on has around 1 million views. 1 million.
No, it has more than that. Yeah, it has more than than a million.
Sometimes
Yeah, it's got way more than 1 million. It's got like 1 point, like probably almost 2 million now. Yeah, what the fuck is he talking about?
that makes things a
This game
little
will
easier.
probably be bought by more than 10 million people, so it's a fraction.
10% is a really big amount of people.
And then, a lot of people who watched that video were probably never going to buy the game anyway. So it's not negligible. Exactly, but it's still a niche. But as these things...
I want to say that before I made a single video about Dragon Age the Veilguard, the trailer was very, like, ill-received by the fan base. Just by the nature of the trailer being released, you could logically come to the conclusion that nobody made a negative video about the Dragon Guard trailer, or sorry, the Dragon Age trailer, until after the trailer came out, logically, right? So if you look at the trailer, and you look at the feedback that individuals are getting from the trailer, it's all negative. So this idea that, like, which came first, the chicken or the egg, it's all of the egg, not me the egg. I come from those people building up my viewpoint because they agree with it. The problem is everyone's pandering these freaks and it's ruining games. Well, it's not happening anymore. That's the problem. That's why they're mad. The leak was worse. Yeah. So...
continue to have relatively convenient on-ramps, like searching Dragon Age on YouTube and getting pulled down this rabbit hole.
So you shouldn't be able to, like, so what's the logic here? That if you search Dragon Age, you shouldn't have a video that pops up that's critical of Dragon Age?
Sometimes
And also, what is this pull down this rabbit hole? What is the infantilization of young adults that are making decisions for themselves? If someone gets radicalized by looking at content on the internet, it's because they choose to look at that content and they agree with it. Why are we looking at these people like they're children that we have to decide what their algorithm tells them? This is insane. So why are you worried about this?
We reach a point where this is the prominent mode of discussion around games. Inmates taking over the asylum or whatever. Is that where we're headed? Because we've seen this in America.
Yeah, that is where we're headed. That's why people are making the videos.
American politics.
Because we've been there.
The more you enable these people structurally or systematically, the more footing they gain until they become the default.
This doesn't even make sense. If there were a lot of YouTube videos that were trying to incentivize you into eating shit, that wouldn't make shit more popular than shit. The entire concept that the algorithm controls what people view is totally insane. Everybody knows who Jack Doherty is. Everybody knows who...
Bring it in. You can thank me later.
I'm trying to think like who's another example. Everybody knows who a lot of these people are. They use Doherty as because they're shown evidence or things they agree with that make them come to those conclusions. The Hawk Tuah girl, yeah. Everybody is going to draw their own conclusions. This idea that showing people this content is somehow like some mind control device, where the moment somebody sees something like this, they're like, oh my god, I hate women, I hate them now. That doesn't happen. That's not real. So when you're talking about and like lamenting the fact that you aren't able to censor different opinions off the internet that you're disagreeing with, and then you're worried that this is impossible, why are you worried that this is impossible to become mainstream? If they're bad opinions, then people won't happen. It's that simple. There's been a lot of opinions over the years that people have had that were very popular, and then over time people have moved away from those opinions because they feel like they're bad. It happens all the time. But the reason why they need this is because the ideas that they're trying to put out there can only exist whenever they're protected. They're like an endangered species. Like you can't have these, you know, these opinions out in the wild. They need to be protected in their own reservation and, you know, not have any other predators attack them. Well, that isn't the free marketplace of ideas. That's censorship.
This one is not drinking the Kool-Aid, they drank the entire cooler. I need to stop you right there. One of the things that I frequently see is journalists and those whose content isn't that popular online criticize the algorithm. They believe,
and I think that's also another big factor, is that journalists feel like a lot of content creators and like YouTube people are encroaching in their space, and because of that, it makes them nervous. Like they see somebody like me or like Legendary Drop or somebody else, and like this person's getting a lot of viewership, getting a lot of attention, and this is a direct competition.
it is a system that is promoting these opinions that they disagree with and ultimately are suppressing their own. That system is an issue, and it's only fascist because it's not promoting their ideas or their opinions. YouTube and content creators in general are supported by their audience, not the algorithm. The algorithm simply feeds you things you might be interested in, and it's up to you to engage with it. If my content, or Asmongold's for that matter, wasn't supported by an audience who resonates with our opinions or our discussions, then it wouldn't be seen. If it wasn't the most popular...
Like, and I have videos, you guys know this, I have videos that are very badly received. I have it happen kind of way, where like, I will have a take about something, or an opinion about something, and that opinion will be not received very well. People will not agree with that. So like this whole logic that, oh well, if people see the video, they're going to agree with it. That's not true. Opinion that was held, it wouldn't swallow the opposing opinion in the algorithm, and those videos are served above ours. Content creators and YouTube don't create a bias, they confirm it. Going on to talk about identity. Exactly. Fucking exactly. So perfect. People go on YouTube to find videos that tell them what they already think.
Politics in games and saying that it's not the normal way people talk about games. Well, but we're not getting normal games. We're getting divisive games firmly cemented in social and identity.
You can't talk about who decides who's able to talk about video games in certain ways. Why are you making the rules for who can talk about a video game? It's like such a crazy thing to even say.
Politics, and you can't be surprised when those games find themselves in the middle of social political discourse. It's the very reason that you put something like that into a game in the first place. By its very nature, it is subversive. When they say the more you enable these people structurally or systematically, the more footing they gain by a default, again, the lack of self-awareness when you're saying that your subversive messaging is more important.
What do you mean, these people?
Than these people. Referencing those who they disagree with. What this actually reads as, we shouldn't platform these people because I disagree with them and my beliefs and opinions are the right ones.
Yeah.
You know, from my
perspective. That's exactly right. Is that these people are completely convinced that their viewpoint on the world is so accurate and so true that they are unwilling to even consider the possibility that other people could have another viewpoint.
All this is the high school nerd that's jealous of the high school quarterback and them being more popular than them. If it was only the other way around.
We're the cool guys.
Around, everybody would totally respect me, but they just don't understand. This is literally just nothing but bitterness over the fact that people are going elsewhere for their opinions. Because it's not traditional media anymore. That's not what people are interested in. Instead, what they want to do is they want to look to people that they can relate to, people that they feel like their tastes and their opinions and their perspectives align with, because, well, they're more likely to steer them in the right direction. They don't feel like these people are compromised, and more times than not, they're not. They are literally just a guy like me with the microphone just saying what their opinions are and leaving that out.
Individual content creators can be compromised in the exact same way that journalists can be, and I don't think that you should draw a parallel where journalists are biased and content creators are not. Both groups of people are capable of biases and also objectivity. You need to look at things individually rather than paint with a broad brush.
Into the ether for other people to pick up. If they resonate with it, they do.